hey, what's up, everybody? It's Friday.
Yeah.
All I can hear is Pookie, like...
Back there tearing up the rug.
Tearing up the rug.
Being funny, yeah. See who's here.
We were trying to,
Tom's
like,
here.
right before the show started, Tom was trying to, roll her up in the rug, which he hasn't done in a long time.
Yeah, I used to roll her up in the rug and then go boom, and then she'd go...
And she'd go flying, and she'd be like,
flying
woo,
out,
do it
and then
again.
she'd do it again. She'd go right back there and,
And
she'd
she'd
roll
go
her up
sit.
again. She'd be waiting. But she forgot about it. I haven't done it in years.
Yeah, this time she just, like, backed out of the
She's
burrito.
like, what
She
is
was like,
it?
no, fuck that.
She stayed in there.
Yeah.
And I tried to roll it, but she's gotten so big and fat. I didn't use enough energy. It didn't go all the way over.
It didn't go all the way over.
Yeah, to hear her in there moving. Well, that's it. It stopped.
She's like, this wasn't what I was expecting.
She's back over there. She went right back into the landing.
Oh, really? She's like,
She wants me to roll it
she's
back
like,
up.
do it again.
Roll
do it again.
it back up. You remember.
She remembers.
You remember.
Maybe she was just mad because you didn't do it right. Because like
I
I
didn't
said,
do it hard enough.
Yeah, you didn't do it hard enough. Because she used to just go, whew, and
Just
like,
be real little, so I
come
could just
flying out the other end, and she'd be like, and then her little tail would wag, and she'd run and go sit back down again.
And then dude, roll it up again. She'd go right into position. Roll it. She would never get tired of it.
Yeah, she would just do it over and over and over.
Yeah.
So funny. She does come in here and play with this rug sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I'll come in the morning sometimes, and it's all like, got all these humps in it. A few times, like, I came in and I saw her, like, with her butt sticking out.
Yeah.
Like, she kind of pulls it up to make a tunnel, and then, like, her little butt sticking out there.
Yeah.
Yay, everybody's here. Pop is here. Full Metal Nosferatu's here. Precious is here. High Desert is here. And Trace Simmons is here. It's like, hey, guys, it's been a while. Yes, it has. Hope you're doing okay. Yeah, we haven't seen you in here. Haven't seen you in here in a little while. My hair's getting caught on my glasses, and I can't fix it. But yeah, it's Friday night. Our favorite
trying to get my drink on.
show of the week. I've got a head start, as you can see.
Yeah, no.
Although a lot of this is melted ice, to be honest with you. It had like a lot of ice in it, then all melted.
Make another one. Freshen it up.
I mean, yeah, might as well before we get
Right
too much into it.
All right. Come on, Poke, move.
Yeah. Oh, Trey says, I'm okay. I had some health issues last year, but I'm A-okay. Well, that's good to hear. Hopefully it wasn't anything too serious. But yeah, no. So there's that. A health issue, I meant. I know what you meant. Oh my god, what happened? All I heard was like this big thump for the next room. Did some shit fall out of the fridge, or... You alright? Hello? Okay, he's not answering. Did you fall over? He's not talking. Maybe he did fall over. No, I still hear him moving around. He just didn't answer me. Trey said, I realized the other day the 10-year anniversary of the show is next year. Yeah, that's right. We started this show in summer of 2016 after I got laid off from my job. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's crazy we've been doing this for 10 years. Like I said, we just kind of started it farting around, but here we still are. Let's see.
I was looking at my records. Remember when I built that little Honda?
Yeah.
That was almost 9 years ago.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous, man. Can't believe it. It seemed like yesterday I built that.
I mean, to me, it seemed like a kind of a long time ago, but yeah.
Thing still looks brand new.
It does, yeah. Well, it's not like you go out and ride it or nothing like that.
No, I haven't ridden it in probably 8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, CB said, Jenny, why was the show up on YouTube 3 times? Oh, okay. So when I didn't know it did that. I use OBS, the little program or whatever. And it kind of it filters right to YouTube. And the first 2 times I tried to make a broadcast, it was like, nope, you can't do that. And give me this weird-ass error message that I never saw before. And I was like, what the fuck is that all about? And, like, I kept trying to do it, and it kept being like, nope. And I was just like, fuck this.
It was having an error connecting to
I don't
YouTube.
think that's what the error was, but I didn't really know. Like, that, it wasn't a connection issue. It was, like, some other, like, it can't make... Because I wasn't trying to start streaming. I was just trying to, like, make a broadcast, like, with a title and stuff.
Yeah.
So, so I restarted the laptop, and then it went. But I'll have to just go back in later and, like, delete the other stuff. But Yeah, I didn't know it was it because it told me it wasn't doing anything. So, let's see. Guamocon is here. What's up, guys? Been a while since I dropped by. Yeah, I noticed you hadn't been here, but always watching you guys' content. Hope stuff's good to everyone. Isn't and if it isn't, then it gets better. Oracle's here. Has anyone seen Bring Her Back? I've been wanting to see it. Like, everybody's been talking about it. I was thinking, I'd even like, because it's up on Amazon Prime, but it's still $20. So I was like, maybe I'll wait till it's like $6 and then I'll watch it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I just said hope the fridge didn't fall on. Yeah, it's like I heard this big thump in there, and I kept calling to you, like, are you okay? Did something fall on you or something like that? And you didn't answer me. So, like, I was like, maybe I should go in there and see what happened. But I guess you didn't hear me. American Military said, did y'all watch the Kohberger sentencing? Oh, that was today? Oh, shit, I didn't see that.
Who got sentenced?
Remember that guy? He did the, we did a show about it, like the Idaho student murders, like those 4 people that got killed.
I don't remember.
Those 4 students that got killed. We did a show about it not too long ago.
It doesn't ring a bell. He got sentenced today?
And, yeah, so what did he get? I didn't even see it.
He probably got multiple lives.
He said that guy has the deadest eyes.
Yeah.
Guamacon also said I have a soft spot for the first 100 episodes there. I said it. The ones that we did, I guess. Yeah, that was before, because we didn't start doing live episodes until the 200th episode.
Was it that many?
Yeah, because
because
we were like, well, we should do something big for the 200th episode. Oh, let's do a live stream, and that was the first time we'd ever done one. And then we ended up liking that so much that we just kept doing them. You know what I mean? Because before everything was recorded, like recorded and edited and blah blah blah. But live streaming is much easier.
Very different doing that show versus this show.
Yeah.
They're totally different. They're so much easier to do live.
They really are.
Much easier.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot less work, too, because, like, those, I don't know, but the old shows that we used to do that were recorded and, you know, were kind of the old slideshow format, which was kind of more the thing back then, those were very, very time-intensive. They took hours and hours and hours.
Jim would go through and actually remove any pauses or any times anybody said or hold on a minute, and we'd a little break, and it was so
because sometimes we'd lose our place in the notes or whatever.
Because we did some of those like in different
now we just let it
takes.
Yeah. I mean,
the good thing about it is they had total control. Over the product.
And you could keep it to whatever, like you could keep it on the topic.
Ad-libbing is so much more fun, especially when you're reacting live to a live audience.
Yeah, and I said this before, but it's like I initially, when we were gonna do the first live stream on the 200th episode, I was like terrified. I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be a shit show, because I was like nervous, you know what I mean? Because it's easier like when you record stuff, because like I said, if you fuck up, you can just take it out or whatever. And I was like, I won't be able to do that. It's like, what if I say something dumb, or what if we can't think of anything and we're just sitting there like idiots, or whatever.
We did a couple of live shows with other channels, and we did some radio stuff.
Yeah,
that was live. So those were very easy. So I figured, man, doing the show live is probably fucking super easy.
It is easy.
And I have a theater background from high school, doing plays and musicals, and I love performing in front of a live audience. And this is a lot more like that, because you can play off the audience. You know who's out there.
Yeah.
The difference is that, fucking if you're playing a role, you everything you're doing is for the audience, but you cannot make eye contact with any individual person in the audience, and you can't interact with them unless the roll calls for it, because it's kind of like the same thing in movies where the fucking somebody looks at the camera. It's like breaking the wall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not supposed to do that. It kind of, but still, if you had a good audience, man, you could just thrive off the enjoyment of the crowd, because it's instant gratification. They're liking the show, they're reacting to the shit that you're doing, and it's become a kind of a relationship. Like you're having a relationship with a massive audience.
Yeah.
Doing it in person, of course, the first couple times, man, it's fucking, whoa, what a fuck, especially if you have to sing songs. I was doing solos and stuff, doing it without mic sometimes, just doing it fucking natural projection, without any fucking amplification or anything, old school shit. It's like something out of the 1800s. And it feels very unnatural until you start doing it. Waiting for it is fucking much worse than doing it.
I think that's kind of true of anything.
As soon as you hit that first, as soon as you hit that first note and the shit started, and then you realize that, hey, you know, they're liking it, and you just start feeding off of it, you know. So, but doing a live stream is more like that.
Yeah,
there's still a little bit of delay of a few seconds, you know, in the screen, in the comment section.
I think it's a 5-second delay, but
yeah, but it doesn't. It's not that bad.
But yeah, I really do like it. I still do get a little bit stressed out. Like, not this show. This show's like, I really like doing this. This is like super fun. It's like our fun Friday night, like sitting around drinking with you guys.
Yeah.
But I do still get a little stressed out, like for the Wednesday shows, because I'm just kind of like, man, am I prepared enough for this? Do I have all the notes?
She's got all the notes.
Am I gonna say something stupid or something wrong, and like somebody be like, well, actually, blah, 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 you know what I mean? But I really do try to get prepared for them, but I still do get a little bit nervous, but not as much as I used to.
Yeah.
Weirdly, for a time after we started live streaming, I started getting more nervous recording the ones, which is really fucking stupid. I don't know why I thought that. Like, I even thought it was stupid, and I'm just like, why do you... It's like, you can, if you fuck up, you can just take it out, you know?
The thing about doing live and the main 13 o'clock show is that every now and then you get somebody in the comment sections that are listening to it recorded, and they're like, God, I wish they would fucking stay on topic type of deal, whatever. Yeah, but the problem is that this is a show. It's a talk show, and it's designed to be a time suck, and it's designed to just so you have an experience with some online friends. You know what I mean? If you really wanted to know about the case that bad, you can just go on just go on Wikipedia and in 5 minutes fucking know everything. It's our reactions to it. It's kind of like a reaction video where you're talking about, you know, from what I love movie reaction. I like song reaction videos. You know, you already know the song, you already know the movie. There's something about watching somebody else react to it.
That's never seen it or heard it before.
Yeah,
that is kind of.
And I like to watch foreigners reacting to shit because they don't have the cultural context.
Yeah.
And then, especially if they're, and I like them talking about old movies, old classic movies from the 80s and the 90s.
It's funny. It's like I know because I grew up in the 70s and 80s. So it's like when you say old classic movies, I still think of like old like 30s movies, like Universal movies. I don't think of movies from the 80s, even though they're old too. But I mean, you know, I don't really think of them like that.
Today I was just watching these three Vietnamese girls react to the old Superman, 1978 Superman, or was it 77 or 78? I think it was 78.
The Richard Donner one.
Yeah.
I think it was 78.
And see, because they did a whole bunch of other superhero movies, newer ones, and you know, they were saying, well, this is supposed to be like the first major superhero movie. Let's see what this is. We know who Superman is, but let's see how it goes. And when it was over, they're like, man, that was you know, the special effects are not like we have today, but that movie was way ahead of its time. You know, they really liked the story.
Yeah.
And like the Lois Lane flying scene and Lois flirting, the girls liked it. You know, that Donner had a good way of communicating a comic book. They were making a movie that the source material is a comic book. And when that part where Superman flies around the Earth backwards and fucking they didn't understand that. They were like, wait a minute. And they were talking about, he's just trying to change the time zones? What is that?
Trying to change the time.
Yeah, they didn't quite grasp what had happened. They're like, they were going like, you can't just turn the globe backwards and reverse time. Like, but they didn't get it that in the comic book,
an alien can't fly around the Earth and make the Earth go backwards.
Yeah, they didn't.
Calm down.
I said that is comic book science.
Yeah, is that right?
He just flew around the Earth backwards and went faster than the speed of light, and that made a time warp that reversed time. You know, they didn't get that part, but I looked in the comment section. They explained it to him.
Oh, okay.
That he went faster than light and fucking reversed time.
As you do.
Yeah. Now, does that make any fucking sense? No.
Of course not.
No, that only makes sense in a comic book. Because you're not supposed to overthink it.
But yeah, I mean, when you're watching the movie, you just buy it.
Yeah.
Like I said, a lot of shit happens in movies, particularly if you watch superhero movies and fantasy or anything like that. None of that shit's real.
Yeah, another thing that the Vietnamese girls were like, how does he not recognize him? He just puts glasses on.
Well, now see, I wonder about that too.
I'm going to tell you why he doesn't recognize. She doesn't recognize him because the source material was a fucking comic book.
Well, yeah.
You know, and If it doesn't have that element in it, it's not Superman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's like that's obviously the same dude.
Yeah, it's the same dude, but in a comic book, if you just put on your glasses and fucking you wear a suit, you
who the
act
fuck are
different.
you?
No, they won't even recognize it. Who are you? Yeah. Only in a comic book.
Which, if that was true, like, as soon because I don't usually wear glasses unless I'm on the show or reading or something like that. So every time I took my glasses off, you'd be like, "Who's this bitch?"
Like, who
house?
are you? What are you doing in my house? And your glasses. Oh, it's you.
Oh, it's you.
but the source material is the comic book back in the 30s. You know what I mean? Fucking that. Of course, that's the way it works.
Yeah.
You know, it's comic book rules.
I mean, it's a lot more plausible or something like Batman because it was a whole ass suit and like a mask and everything.
Well, you know, as the superhero genre evolved out of the 30s, the thinking kind of got, well, you can't see his face. If you see his face, then he's not. Although I tell you what, that movie about fucking that had that the Indian guy, fucking that director who did all that his superheroes like Glass and Unbreakable.
M. Night Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan. He got it right, man. I fucking love M. Night Shyamalan's fucking superhero trilogy movie.
They were pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. And fucking Mr. Glass was in there. And he says Superman is a unique superhero. Other superheroes, when they're being a superhero, they're in a disguise. Okay? They're normally a billionaire, and then they put him in a disguise and become Batman. Not Superman. Superman's waking persona is a disguise. When he becomes Superman, that's who he actually is. That's actually who he is.
Because he's an alien.
He's a god, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a god.
But an alien in the sense of he comes from another planet.
Yeah, it's a retelling of Jesus, basically.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, his name is fucking Jor-El, El. And Kal-El. El is a fucking old Hebrew word for God.
Yeah, they knew like I said, they knew what they were doing with that. There's a lot of religious imagery in that.
Right.
Sent
his only son from a last survivor to save mankind. That's fucking
Jesus
or Thor.
Jesus.
Same thing.
It's Jesus.
Yeah, kind of.
Or like you said, Thor. Full Metal Nosferatu says, this is going back a little way, but I got behind. Jenny, great news. I'm officially on staycation. Ooh, that's nice. But more importantly, my best friend of nearly 30 years, Rob, has been declared cancer-free. He slayed the dragon. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Yep.
And everybody's talking about, Ozzy Osbourne dying.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan
Ozzy
dying.
Osbourne, Hulk Hogan. The 80s is now dying.
Well, I mean, getting old, you know.
They're all old, yeah.
Guamakan says, Bring Her Back is a sick meditation on grief, loss, and death. Surprisingly, redemption, way creepier than Talk to Me. Definitely recommend. Oh, I'm going to see it as soon as the price comes down a little bit. I don't know if we'll both review it or if I'll just review it for my channel. Oh, if you didn't see it, I put up a video earlier today where I reviewed Dario Argento's Sleepless. So if you want to... Which I liked a lot better than I remembered.
The thing about those guys dying, it's unfortunate, you know, for the families of these people when they die, you know, because they're now not around. But it's just like Yoda says, it's the way of the Force.
I mean, everybody's gonna die.
Everybody's gonna die. That's just, if you try to live forever, only the Sith try to live forever. They're fucking necromancers, all right? And you're gonna live forever as a fucking monster. You're supposed to die eventually, and that's the end of your story. And when dudes like that die, at least temporarily, they become legends. You'll remember Hulk Hogan and the shit that he did. You'll remember Ozzy. And when you remember an Ozzy that's gone, you're remembering them more what they were like in their prime.
Yeah.
You know, so in a way, it's kind of like a limited form of immortality for them. They're like reborn in people's minds. You know, the Hulkster. You know, which I really wasn't into that when I was a kid. But looking back on it now, I look at it and go, yeah, that was a good product. He was a good product at that time.
I will say, now that I don't follow wrestling either. Yeah. Maybe some of you guys that follow wrestling can tell me. But from everything that I've seen of all of the people talking about him dying, was that everybody else in wrestling hated his guts. They said he was a huge douche.
Probably was. Well, egos. Those guys.
And
egos,
a huge fucking racist.
They were
that too.
Those people fucking had huge egos. They all did.
And, you know, the Iron Sheik in particular super hated that.
Hated him, huh? Yeah.
Super hated him.
Yeah,
So
what was
he
funny
the
about the Iron
fucking
Sheik
wax.
is that he pretended to be an Arab. I think he was Mexican. Was he
They
Mexican
was
American?
just like, well, close enough.
Mexican
No one will know
American.
the difference.
It's wrestling. It's all
Yeah,
fake.
that's what I mean.
It's all
It's
fake.
It's all fake.
It's all fake. It's all theater. It's just having a good time.
A lot of people are really into. You know what's funny is like I saw somebody commenting on something like that about Hulk Hogan or something like that, and they said that their dad or something was really into wrestling, but he called it man opera.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's like one of the best.
Exactly.
That's a really good succinct.
All that over the top acts that they're
man
doing.
opera.
Well,
That's like that's so funny.
Here's the funny thing is that when you call it opera, he's kind of elevating it.
Yeah.
Really, what it was man cartoons.
Yeah, like live
It
action
was
man.
more
cartoons.
like cartoons to me. Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it is very cartoony.
And I don't understand why guys over the age of 13 or 14 were into that. Because when I was 13 or 14, I would thought it was amusing. But we had old school television back then. There wasn't much on it.
Yeah, you didn't have much choice.
And I knew it was fake then. You know, this shit's
well,
fake.
hopefully most people did, but I guess, well, I mean, kids probably didn't, but...
I don't know, man. I think there's some fucking redneck fucking trailer park dudes that fucking in their hearts fucking wanted all that shit to be true. It was like masculine fucking fantasy world, like cartoons, you know, that it was an art form. It's like something out of the circus. It was basically like circus.
Yeah,
shit.
that's kind of a good way of looking at it.
You know, but it was cartoons, really.
Yeah.
Live action cartoons for man children.
Live action cartoons.
Man children. It was for.
It's funny because Wang, who I really like, his YouTube channel, he's like super into wrestling, so he knows like all about that. Because he did some really funny. Because he was the one that said about the Vince McMahon's ass cartoon.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know jack shit about wrestling. Really, I know who Vince McMahon is, but not that. I'm not that like dumb. But I didn't know that they'd made a cartoon about his ass, and I love that Wang fucking brought that up because I was like, wait, is that real? And I was like, oh my god, it is real. That's kind of awesome.
I tell you, fucking when Jen first met me, I was living up the fucking road over in Altamont at what was the name of that fucking housing complex? Douglaston Villas.
Yeah, it was like what do they call them? Not apartments. They're
like little
like townhouses.
Is what they were like. They weren't very expensive, and they were kind of that particular one was kind of like on the decline. All right.
Yeah.
It was made probably.
It was all right. It wasn't.
It was okay. It's made in the 80s, and it was just on the decline. And fucking, it was owned by some dudes in New York that were trying to fucking get you to pay for shit like garbage fucking pickup and weird, stupid shit. They were trying to scam all the time.
Usually they fold that into the rent. I mean, everywhere I lived, and it was usually only like $10 or something like that.
Well, next to me, in one of the bungalows type buildings next to me, was a fucking big dude who'd come out and fucking every now and then, well, hey, that's doing your bike. That's when I first got that Buell. And fucking, he kept dropping these weird wrestling fucking ideas. And I really didn't relate to him. I says, what is this about wrestling? He goes, oh, I used to be a professional wrestler. I was like, really? He goes, yeah, I'm blah, 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 blah. And I don't even remember the motherfucker's name. He goes, you don't remember me? You watched wrestling? I said, I watched when I was a little kid. He goes, well, who was your favorite wrestler? And I said, I actually remember mostly George Animal Steel. He said, oh, yeah, George Animal Steel. I know him.
I know who that is.
Yeah, he goes, yeah, I know him. I worked with him. And he says, don't you remember? And he says, do you remember Junkyard Dog? And I said, yeah, I remember him a bit. And I says, and I also remember like the Iron Sheik. And he goes, well, you remember Hulk Hogan? And I, yeah, I remember all that from WWF. That was He's like, yeah, well then you remember that? And I was like, who?
Yeah.
I didn't remember. I was sorry, man. I don't.
He was trying so hard.
Yeah, he was trying.
Either that or he was just making it all up.
No, he had the body for it. I mean, he was probably like 6'4".
If he was just some nobody that like goes around telling people he's a famous wrestler, that's like a shtick.
He was a big old white guy. He had a black wife, fucking, and they were like in their 60s at that time. And the wife came out and goes, "Oh, don't pay any mind him."
He's reliving his glory days.
He's helped me charge the bike. You know what I mean? They were both really cool, but he was like crestfallen. That I didn't remember.
I would feel so fucking bad because I don't hardly know. Like I know those names.
It sounded familiar, but I was just like, yeah, I kind of remember.
Like I literally,
like,
I don't think
I wrestled for 8 years. I was on all that, and I was just, yeah, but there were so many of you guys, man, and I was a little kid, and he's like, yeah, he was crestfallen that I didn't remember him.
Like, I didn't watch it. I didn't know anyone that was into it when I was younger.
Yeah.
But in the 80s, it was kind of ubiquitous. It was, like, kind of hard to avoid it.
Yeah. I was trying to ignore it, actually, by the time I was 15.
Because even if you didn't watch wrestling, like, a lot of the wrestlers were in, like, they were in commercials, or Hulk Hogan had a fucking cartoon. So they were, like, you know, Cyndi Lauper put them in her videos and, like, shit like that. So it was just kind of, like, so it was kind of everywhere.
And kids that you went to high school with would, like, quote them, and you wouldn't quite really know the quote. You're like, who are you quoting? But they'd be, like, quoting some shit that wrestlers were doing. You know?
Yeah, it was kind of a big thing, I remember. But like I said, I didn't know anybody that was in it.
At the time, I just thought it was kind of, like, cheesy, especially after I was, like, 15 or 16. I was just like, that's kind of fucking cheesy bullshit. And like, it was just mad children and fucking teenagers watching that shit. But it got big, man. That shit was like on...
It's massive. It still is.
Fucking massive. And people would pay to go see that shit. Huge audiences. And it's hard to believe that it had that kind of fandom. I mean, because they weren't supporting events. It was not sports. It was not... there was no score being kept.
I mean, there is some athleticism involved, but it's not a sport.
It's
really.
more like
it's just like theater.
It's more like acrobatics and putting on a show, and it's not
like theater of two dudes beating the crap out of each other.
It is not real. Those dudes, that's not their names. That's not their personas when they're not working. They're like rodeo clowns.
Yeah.
You know, a lot like that, which I respect all that shit. They're putting on a show. It's just part of show business.
It's just entertainment.
But when they're out of those costumes and shit, the guys are like, I'm gonna kick your ass. Man, those motherfuckers at the bar drinking together. Yeah, man, hey, Rich, come here, Rich. You know,
and they write scripts for them,
it's
too.
It's all scripted, yeah.
They're just kind of like, hey, you're gonna take a heel turn, and like you're gonna have to turn into a bad guy, and all this other kind of crap. Mm-hmm. So you know what I mean? It's like it's like a live action show, like a series.
One of my favorite movies, I owned the thing, was fucking, it had fucking, what's her name, Pugh. Fucking Florence Pugh, their name?
Yeah.
And it's called Fighting with My Family. It's about a fucking British goth wrestler chick that comes here to Florida in Orlando, and they're showing places where me and Jen used to hang out, fucking downtown. And she becomes a wrestler, a professional wrestler. Her name was, what was it, Paige?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she did a good job as Paige. And that was a fun movie. Both the theatrical release and the director's cut, I got them both on Blu-ray. And it's a good, feel-good movie. You know, about wrestling and her, and her family. And watching that, I was kind of like nostalgic about wrestling. I was like, yeah, that was kind of a cool period. You know what I mean? Fucking, because it was kind of simple, dumb, but you know, it was like innocent dumb. It was just, it's just adults entertaining children.
Not like malevolent dumb.
No, it wasn't malevolent. It was just dumb. And
I think we got a super chat. I got like way behind on the comments, so I got to go back, but I didn't even see it. Holy shit. Sorry, you guys. I got like way behind. Somebody, The Difference sent us a super chat. 13 o'clock's local independent wrestler reporting in. Okay. Definitely right about rednecks, but it's a lot more real than you think. You know, it hurts. Well, they do get injured.
Yeah.
Tom, give me your top 3 gym exercises before I put you through a table. Ha ha ha.
Top 3 gym exercises.
Okay. Exactly I got like a bunch of shit I gotta like.
Well, I'm trying to answer his question. Was that a joke or was that for real?
I don't know.
Okay. Top 3. Well, your top 3 gym exercises, of course, is going to be fucking bench press, arm curl, and squat. That's the core. Those are the 3 core fucking exercises for, you know, anybody who's trying to gain mass. If you're starting out, I did just that basically for 5 years. Basically, that's what I focused on. I mean, year 6 now, I'm throwing in fucking what do they call this shit? Fucking man. It's where you do this fucking skull crushers. Skull crushers. I got hurt doing skull crushers. Yeah, so I had to back off of it and fuck my wrist up. I was using too much weight. But skull crushers
I've hurt myself doing those too.
Yeah, skull crusher. You put a weight behind your head, you're just doing that. Big bar back there. I was probably skull crushing 100 pounds and hurt my wrist. So I had to lay off of those. And I'm also now throwing in a lot of pull-ups. And I'm going to get a belt so I can attach more weight to it, because all my weights have handholds, so you can use a D-ring and attach weights to a weight belt so I can get more weight to do pull-ups. I got a good pull-up bar. That's it. So those are the 3 ones. And then once you get... I did the fucking numbers with Grok. In 6 years, I lost 20 pounds of fat and gained 38 pounds of muscle in 6 years. In my 50s. I'm 5'6". I'm 180 pounds, 12% body fat. And I went from about 155 pounds and fucking 25% body fat. I did it in 6 years. Not naturally, on HRT, doing cycles. But reasonable, I did very, actually, small cycles. I never did any more than fucking a combined 1,000 milligrams a week of shit, of gear. A lot of it just test.
Yeah, there was a long time ago, like I wanted to kind of get some of these comments. Trey says, in some ways I miss the old format of the show, but I also love the current form of the show. You guys used to go up the old format on Tuesdays, right? Yeah, for some reason, I think because I researched and they said, Tuesdays for whatever reason was like the biggest day, so I put them up then. And then, let's see, they were talking about how they found the show. Mandy-Nicole said, I think the first video I watched years ago was the Angry Gay Pope guy. And then I read Jenny's Unseen Handbook. Yeah, I should probably do like another version of that at some point. And Guamakan said, I found it searching for Shining theories. Yeah, that was one of our first shows that we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Trey said, I've been wondering how many people have been around since the start of the show. Yeah, some of you guys have been with us since the beginning, like since 2016. Oracle says, even if you make a mistake, Jenny, we will still love you. I know, but I have a thing about it. American Military said, question, how do you two determine which film to select for your movie retrospective?
Some of it's off the cuff.
We literally have no plan. Sometimes, because sometimes you guys recommend some, and we write them down.
Yeah.
But sometimes what happens is like, we'll write them down, and then like when the time comes, we usually watch them on Sunday night, so it's like, fresh in our mind for Monday. And sometimes we'll be like, well, do you want to do this, or this? And Tom's like, I don't really know. Like, I don't feel like it. And so we'll start scrolling through movies, and then we'll just pick one at random. Like, whatever we're in the mood for. You know what I mean? Which is, incidentally, also how I pick movies and books to review for my series. I have, like, literally... Like, I do take recommendations, and I have a lot of them that I haven't got to yet. But a lot of times I'll just be scrolling through Shudder or Amazon Prime or something like that, and I'll be like, man, I'm kind of in the mood to watch that right now, or I haven't seen that in a long time, and I'll rewatch that. Like, that's what happened with the Dario Argento movie Sleepless that I put a review of today. I saw it years and years ago, probably in 2002, 2003, something like that, and I was like, I remember that being pretty good, like one of his better, like, later movies, because obviously, like, a lot of his later movies kind of suck out loud. But I said, I remember that one being okay. And then I saw it was on Tubi, because Tubi, if you didn't know, has a whole ass section of Italian horror and Giallo. They have a lot of them. And I didn't realize that, because I was looking in the horror section, but then I was like, oh, wait, it's a separate category. And I was like, holy shit, they had like a whole bunch of them. And that one was in there, and I said, I remember that being pretty good. And so, like, one day, it was like a Saturday or something, or Sunday or something, and I was just like, man, I kind of feel like watching that again. And, Max von Sydow was in it, and you can't, like, beat that. So, yeah, I remember, like, whatever. Trey says, the rambling, at times veering off topic, anything goes aspect of the show is one of my favorite things about it. Yeah, I kind of feel like probably the people that are still here after all that time like that aspect of the show. Yeah. Like, sometimes I get stressed out about it. Yeah. Like, especially if you have a topic, and I'm like, oh my god, we have so much of this topic left. We're going to be here till fucking midnight. You know what I mean?
I'm always trying to remind Jen that we're not professors. We're not educators. We're entertainers. The show just has to be entertaining.
Yeah. But I do, if I'm going to talk about, especially crimes and stuff like that, because I kind of feel an obligation to families of victims and shit like that. It's like, I don't, I do want to get details right, because I'm kind of a stickler that way. But, it's probably less. I don't care as much when it's just about something. I mean, you know, the last show we did on Wednesday, which was just about Betty Davis and Joan Crawford, that was just kind of like a fun topic. Like, nobody died or anything. I mean, obviously they both died, but you know what I mean? Like, no one got murdered or nothing. So, you know, I wanted to get everything right still, but it wasn't quite as... I wasn't quite as stressed out about it. It's weird because ironically I get like more stressed out about doing the true crime ones, but in another way they're like a lot easier.
I want to say something to the difference though. If you're a local wrestler here in Florida, Orlando, in this area, then you probably know my friend Nancy Sharon. She was one of the ring girls. I got pictures of her. If I showed you probably know who that is. And
I haven't seen her in a long time.
Yeah.
She still lives around here, I think, but it's like I haven't seen her in a while.
She's been seeing me lately, and she says, "Man, we need to get you trained up, get you in the ring." And I said, "Nancy, I'm fucking 55 years old, almost 56, I think. I might be 56 now."
You are 56.
Yeah, I'm 56 now. It's just,
wait, right? Because you were born in 1969.
69, yeah, July 1st, 69.
Yeah, so you just turned. You just turned 56 at the beginning
of this. 55, but I told her to. I'm gonna dig up a picture of Nancy. You probably her working in the ring. I probably got it here. And she's like, "I don't think it would matter, man. You look great. You just got, you know what I mean. You got to practice and not get hurt. You do get hurt. Look at fuck what he did. What's his name? Chris Benoit and shit. Fucking, they beat. He loved it, but they were beating him over the head all the time with fucking metal chairs and shit. Fucking his brain was fucked up, and he killed his family. I can't believe that they turned their back on him though. I would have never done that.
Yeah,
I would have just said
that
he
was kind of fucked up. How that
happened. I would have made a big thing about, you know, fucking he took a bunch of head injuries and this is a dangerous sport, and you know, I would have done like in a little apology tour and shit that we fucking weren't watching him closely enough. But the thing is that would probably open up for a lawsuit or some shit like that.
Yeah, they were probably they're just gonna be like,
yeah,
you know what I mean, we're
so
just gonna go over here
and away. But they really should have done that because that was one of their own. Yeah, he killed his family, but his fucking his brain was a pile of jelly.
Did we do a show about, or did we talk about him? Because I think we watched that documentary or that series about him.
He loved wrestling, loved it so much he gave his life, and fucking his family was a casualty. He would just let him beat him in the head with fucking metal folding chairs, and it was real.
Baby, that's where your brain is.
There really was, yeah. And he'd do big steroid cycles and shit, and that's because steroids are anti-inflammatories, so he didn't realize his brain wasn't swelling up, so he didn't think he was getting hurt because, you know.
Yeah, because it was masking it.
It was masking it, but no,
all the damage.
Under normally he was getting serious concussions and not
happened
knowing
to a lot of football players.
Yeah, like football players.
I mean, they finally fucking acknowledged it, kind of. But yeah, you can't just like beat people in the head repeatedly and expect a good outcome from that.
They're accumulative.
Yeah,
and every time you get one, they magnify.
Yep. I said that's where your brain is, and yeah, it doesn't work out well. Yeah, Papa77 said, "Tom, are you calling me a man-child? I've been watching pro wrestling since 1985.
There's nothing wrong with being a man-child. There's nothing wrong with being a man-child.
Is that right?
Let's see if I can find a picture of Nancy. I think I got pictures of Nancy. But I lost my other... It might have been the other tablet, and I lost all those pictures in that tablet.
Yeah, that was the one that got wet.
Yeah.
And then he had the SD card from it, and like I opened it on because I have a SD card reader, and everything was gone off of it.
All that glitching out.
Like it worked, but I opened all the folders and everything was empty.
Yeah.
Oh, you do have one of her?
Yep.
So we're gonna see if he recognizes her.
See if you remember her. That's Nancy.
Yeah. But is she like she is a ring girl? She like around here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's a ring girl, and I think she might wrestle a little bit too.
Okay. Like I said, I haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah, she wrestles. That's her.
I think the last time I saw her was at Old Ibar, when it was still downtown. Maybe.
That's her with the ponytail.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, she loves
that's
wrestling.
Her. That's her behind me.
Wrestling and heavy metal.
Yeah, that's her behind me. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was it, and that's Sonia too.
Yeah, that's Sonia. She's from India originally. Well, no, her parents were from India.
She was born here.
She was born here, yeah. Loves heavy metal, 80s heavy metal, and
she's got the fringe boots and everything.
yeah, got the fringe boots and everything. But she works she's a
wrestler.
Barbarella
on Saturday nights, and she does every now and then.
Yeah, this is from like 2000, probably 2010, probably 2012.
Like I said, I haven't seen her in a long time, so I don't know what she looks like now.
She looks exactly like that.
Pretty much exactly the same.
Just like that. That ring picture isn't old. Like maybe 2 years.
Yeah, Papa77 said CB and myself are the true wrestling fans in here. Yeah, I figured, like, because I knew that you guys were into that kind of stuff. I didn't follow it, but like I said, I know a lot of the wrestlers' names just because you couldn't really avoid it in the 80s. They had, like, fucking cartoons and toys and commercials and everything. So if you watched any TV in the 80s, it was kind of everywhere. You know?
It's part of American culture.
Big Dog says, I love you guys. Been listening for years. You have great chemistry, great topics, and loved Mammoth Mountain Poltergeist. Pensacola in the house. Damn. I've lived in Florida my whole life, and I don't think I've ever been to Pensacola. Isn't that crazy? I haven't been up in the Panhandle much. Like, I've been out of Florida. Like, I drove to Georgia, and I've driven up the coast and stuff, but I don't think I've ever been never been to Tallahassee either. Been down south. I've been to Miami and shit, but...
Go to the restroom, make another drink.
Yeah, I need to go too in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, CB said the 80s in WWE was the rock and wrestling connection. Yeah, that was, like I said, I remember a lot of, particularly Cyndi Lauper, because she had a lot of wrestlers in her videos, because she was real into that whole scene, which was a little weird. But like I said, even Hulk Hogan... He just seems like he was fucking everywhere. Was he in some movies? Was he in a movie called, what was it called? Mr. Nanny or something? He had an apron on the cover. Am I remembering that wrong? Am I high? I thought he was in a movie like that. I know he was probably in more than one, but you know what I mean? That was the one that I kind of remembered. I never saw it, because why the fuck would I watch that? But I just remember seeing the cover of it, like in the video store. Yeah, Big Dog said George the Animal Steel was the man. I've heard it. I can't picture him right now, but I know that name. You know what I mean? Yeah, Papa77 said really bad movies. How many movies was he in? Like I said, I remember, wasn't there one called Mr. Nanny or something? Yeah. Was that the only one he was in? That's the only one I remember. Like I said, I haven't seen any of them, obviously, but it's just... I just feel like they were just like big celebrities, like in the 80s, and probably the 90s too. It kind of all bleeds together, like, the older I get. Sometimes I'll see movies from the early to mid 90s, and I'll be like, fuck, I forgot how fucking 80s the 90s looked. You know what I mean? Because you think, like, as I distinctly remember, I graduated from high school in 1990. And I distinctly remember 1991, the year that Nirvana's Nevermind came out and alternative music went mainstream and all this other kind of stuff. And I definitely remember, like, all the grunge shit happening, so there was a lot of that going on. But if you see movies now from, like, 92, 93, something like that, you would never know that there was anything like that going on. And I'm talking about, like, kind of more, low rent, like, horror movies and stuff. Holy shit, what was that movie that we watched the other day on Riff Tracks? Oh, Suburban Sasquatch. Yeah. Suburban Sasquatch, which we're watching it, and Tom's like, when was this movie made? And I was like, this looks like 1994 or something like that, just judging by the cars and the shittiness of the special effects and everything. Turns out it was 2004. Wow. It was like Birdemic level. And actually it was kind of a little bit more entertaining than Birdemic because it didn't have, like, any slow spots. But you could tell it was made for, like, $10. And all of the special effects were special in the sense of short bus special. They were all made with I don't even know if it was Adobe Premiere Pro. It might have been, like, an older, because, it's like the blood splatter and explosions and everything. They were just stock blood splatter and explosions. And it also had some of the bird effects that they used in Birdemic too. So that, like I said, it must have been kind of a stock effect that you could use in, might have been Adobe Premiere Pro, I'm not really sure what they made it in. But holy crap, what a terrible, terrible movie. But we were kind of watching it, and we were like, you know what? This is fucking terrible, but it's still pretty entertaining. I mean, to be fair, we did watch the Riff Tracks version, which is always going to make it much funnier. But even the movie itself, I'm like, it's not Velocipaster level. Come on now. But it was just like, it was pretty funny. Like,
yeah.
It's because
they knew the effects were cheesy. They knew shit was funny. They knew shit was, and they just kind of like, yeah, this is what we're good. This is what we're doing.
The Sasquatch had, I guess they didn't. I didn't really specify like what gender the Sasquatch was supposed to be, but it had very obvious, like very large titties, and I guess it was just like a cheap ass like gorilla suit they rented.
Yeah.
And it would tear limbs off, heads, legs, arms, pretty much all the time, and would like eat them. So it was like a cannibal kind of. And so I just, every single time that the Sasquatch like attacked somebody and just like pulled their arm off and stuff, it just made me laugh and laugh and laugh. It was just like so fucking funny. And the person that was fighting the Sasquatch was like the most stereotypical magical Native American girl. I was like, the first time she showed up, I'm like, oh my god, is that a Pocahontas costume from Spirit Halloween? That's what it fucking looked like. And she had a bow and arrow and like magic, like the little bag with all the stuff in it. And I was just like, oh my god, Jesus Christ.
They were just regular street clothes that a girl would wear that you could roughly say, yeah, that's kind of like an Indian maiden outfit.
Yeah.
And she had a bow, and she.
It looked like a Halloween costume.
Yeah, she had leather boots,
in a
but
bag.
they obviously have zippers. They're like go-go boots.
Yeah, with like fur at the top.
Yeah,
kinda.
fur on top, but then they're like they got a zipper running down the middle. And that's like something. Would you say that's something that an Indian girl would wear now? I know. They would wear that shit. And she's like got a fucking recurve bow. It's funny though. It wasn't meant to be taken seriously.
I would hope not.
It was a family-made movie. Most people were related to each other.
Yeah, because I was watching because I said I gotta see this. Who's responsible? Yeah. So I was watching the credits, and most people had like the same last names and shit like that. So it seemed like, which like I said, that's cool.
Family and friends.
Yeah, they just all kind of got together and made a movie about a killer Bigfoot.
Yeah, using the gorilla costume.
A bad.
A really bad one.
I mean, you could get a better one than that, surely.
I don't think that's what they were shooting
in
for.
2004.
It wasn't that kind of a movie, Jen. Wasn't that kind of a movie.
You think they were trying to make it bad on purpose? I couldn't really tell. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I don't think they were trying to do it on purpose. It's just that they were trying to tell a story with nothing.
Yeah.
With no money, and they leaned into it like this looks like shit. So let's just. It wasn't supposed to be. You weren't supposed to take it seriously. Yeah. Well, some of the fucking that had CG, some of the special effects. Yeah,
CG.
It had CG. It's like that was actually kind of like Birdemic CG with the fucking birds.
I said, because I think it's Adobe Premiere Pro.
Yeah.
I use that, but I didn't use that old iteration of it, and I think it had stock explosions, stock blood splatter, stuff like that, because you can see it like in a lot of these real cheap.
Yeah.
Movies like that, they all use the same effect, and even the bird flying shit, and because this also had a bird thing.
That's basically what Ed Wood would have done
if he'd had access to the technology.
Yeah.
But he actually had to build sets, and I mean they were paper cardboard sets that if you ran into it, like the wall would fall over.
Yeah, but that was maybe on the same level with this.
And cardboard gravestones.
And,
Poor guy.
Yeah. You got Tor Johnson coming out of the ground. It's obviously AstroTurf and shit. He's obviously not really buried, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love, that's probably one of Tim Burton's best films.
Yeah.
And some of it's accurate, kind of, to the real Ed Wood. But, obviously he, exaggerates for dramatic and comedic purposes. But, I just love the scene where they're filming that from Plan 9 from Outer Space. And, he's like, well, those gravestones are obviously fake. And it's like, he can't even get out of the hole because he's so big and all this other stuff. No one's going to notice. You know what I mean? He's just talking about it's not even they'll fix it in post. But he's like, no one's going to notice this is such a compelling horror movie that no one's going to notice little shit like, a gravestone falling over Like it's a fucking cardboard gravestone falling over in the background or something like that. Or the fact that the UFOs were made of plastic pie plates glued together and painted silver on strings, which they very clearly were. But yeah, so if you have, it was on Tubi. If you like MST and riff tracks and stuff, Tubi has a fuck ton of MST episodes and riff track. They have a lot of riff tracks on there. So I always check like every now and then when they put up a new one, and that was I think that was the newest one they put up with Suburban Sasquatch, because I've seen most of the ones they put on there, but I was like, oh, haven't seen this one. I'm like, that sounds funny. Like I said, it wasn't up to Velocipaster, because that's like, to me, that's like the platonic ideal of the so bad it's good movie that's self-aware, but that doesn't take away from its awesomeness. Because we've said this before, like sometimes you try to make a bad movie on purpose, like wink nudge, like look how fucking bad this movie is. Like sometimes it falls flat, like it's not as funny. Like that, I think a lot of the sci-fi original movies fell into that. Where they knew they were making bad movies. It's like, let's make Lavalantula, you know what I mean? Or whatever. Which was a real movie, by the way. It was like a volcano of tarantulas or something. So yeah, but if they're making it bad on purpose, then like I said, it's too self-aware. It's not funny then. I think the best bad movies are movies that are, one, so batshit crazy that you can't believe anybody fucking conceived of it and made it. Or two, movies where it's really, really genuine and heartfelt. They thought they were making a really good movie, and it just went terribly, terribly wrong. So the fact that it's like so genuine, like they really think they're making a good movie, and it's really, really not good.
Well, they're taking the shit seriously.
Yeah, is what makes it funnier, and you can't. It's hard to do that on purpose.
And they think they're making Citizen Kane.
Yeah, it's hard to do that on purpose. Like I said, I think that's what makes Manos such a good bad movie, because I think they legitimately thought they were making a good movie, and it just went terribly, terribly wrong. But it's still like super entertaining, like for all of that.
There's kind of a lot. There's several of them that are like that. Fucking all the ones with that fucking dude who thinks he's some kind of demigod. They got the
Neil Breen.
Neil Breen movies. He thinks he's making great movies in each one.
And that makes it like 100 times more
so
hilarious to me.
Yeah.
It's so much funnier. Like somebody that's just completely clueless.
Yeah.
Neil with Breen like no self-awareness whatsoever.
Neil Breen is like an average Joe in every respect. Maybe even subpar in some respects. He definitely has no self-awareness at all. And he writes these stories about dudes from the future, or guys, or aliens from another planet, or some kind of spiritual master who's come to the Earth to fix the Earth's problems, and all the girls are just totally in love with him because he's superhuman. And of course, he stars in all these roles.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so he's making out with these
and
girls.
And casts, like, give some Playboy bunny or something like that, like $200 or some cocaine or something like that to be in this fucking movie and make out with him.
Yeah.
And pretend that he's irresistible to the ladies.
Yeah, and the dialogue is terrible, and
it's pretty funny.
Just everything about it is fucking bad. Except watching it is, at least in the riff tracks versions, they're entertaining to watch because they're very easy to goof on.
Yeah.
And
it's like it's doing their work for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't even need that. You don't even need that, but I mean, it's better to have that, like I said, because I'll always watch it.
And he's got a shit ton of fans that actually will go and see him.
Yeah.
Do talks, and every one of those fans is goofing on him. Fucking, he's.
But the funny thing
riff
is,
tracks made him famous. Other people made him famous.
And I kind of feel like, honestly,
he takes his shit. He thinks he's Steven Spielberg.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's hilarious about it. And it's even more hilarious that people just watch his movies because they're ridiculous. To go see him, but like pretend that he's like some auteur or something like that, and he totally buys into it.
Yeah,
that's fucking hysterical.
Each each fucking movie is really just more like an ego project. What's another word they use for that? Fucking
Vanity project.
Vanity project. Just to make him fucking feel good about himself. It's basically a whole movie that's just stroking his dick.
Yeah, and it's obviously that's what it is. Like big neon sign on these.
Yeah.
That's what's so funny about it.
Yeah. The purpose of the movie is to fucking make him appear godlike.
I mean, every time I see a movie like that, I mean, this might be a mean thing to say, but it's like every time I see a movie like that, the only thing that I can see is, Daddy, please love me.
Yeah.
That's like all I can see.
Yeah.
Like dudes like that. Because you know that dude's dad probably told him he was a loser, like his whole entire life. And it did a number on his fucking self-esteem, which is bad. I mean, that's sad and everything, but it's like, that's not really the way to cope with that. I'm just saying. Full Metal Nosferatu said, one of my Halloween favorites, Jacko, is on Tubi, riff by riff tracks. And yes, and indeed, I did watch that probably a couple months ago. Or it might have been around Halloween, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. That was also very entertaining.
Oh, shit. I'm going to show Neil Breen. There's Neil Breen.
Okay, don't mess up my lighting.
That's Neil Breen.
Oh, and look. Oh,
and he's in a row.
Oh, my God.
He's the...
Hopefully everybody's pussies don't get too wet out there.
There's sexy Neil Breen.
Oh, my God. Look at that.
Yeah. All right.
We just want to jump on that D.
Fucking women find him irresistible. Here's one of his movie posters. See that shit? Don't you want to see that movie?
He looks so serious.
Yeah, well, he's a godlike being.
I'm looking over here. I'm like being very...
Breenus.
Breenus. Yeah, there's like a whole... You know what? I had actually never heard of Neil Breen. I first heard of him a long time ago through Shitcase Cinema, who... Yeah. That guy, he's super funny. Like, he's this bald British guy, but he barely ever posts. He's had that channel, Shitcase Cinema, for a very long time, for like probably 15, 20 years.
He used to post regularly a long time ago.
He used to post a long time ago, but now he doesn't really. He's an author also. Yeah. I keep meaning to like read some of his shit, and I just keep forgetting. But he tends to do like shitty, and he does a lot of Neil Breen movies. He does a lot of Steven Seagal movies. That kind of stuff, and they're always like really, really funny.
Yeah, in his movies, he tends to be worshipped by girls that look like that or women that look like that. He ends up making out with them somehow in the movie.
I'm sure there was probably a threesome involved. With those two. I've never even seen the movie, and I'm just like, I would bet that.
And he saves mankind. He saves
always.
He always saves mankind.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
What is it like to have an ego that large, Tom?
My ego isn't that large.
It's bigger than mine, though.
Yeah.
So you might know more than I know.
I can actually, when I'm bragging, I'm backing that shit up. I don't brag about shit I can't back up.
It's just funny to me how any motherfucker, especially somebody as fairly kind of mediocre as that guy,
and that bitch is available on Blu-ray. Available on Blu-ray.
Fateful Finding.
Blu-ray disc.
Although I wonder, are they as boring as like a lot of the later Steven Seagal movies? Because those are mostly just boring.
Yeah. I don't know. Probably boring.
Like Steven Seagal is like too fat to even walk now, so it's just kind of like, so all the scenes are just like close-ups of his face or him like sitting in a chair. And then he has like a stunt double if he needs to walk around.
See, I see how you're maneuvering this. You're trying to get me to talk about fucking Steven Seagal.
No, I'm not really. I was just like bringing it up as
all right. Seagal.
I gotta pee though.
What makes fucking Seagal movies so boring is that he's not in them. Okay. Which you like? What are you the fuck you talking about? There are Steven Seagal movies that he has assembled where most of the shots of him was a stunt double. Okay. A lot of times he's even dubbed in them. You see him, and when he says something, it's actually not even his voice. So either when you see him and it's a stunt double, it's not him. You hear him, they actually show a picture of his voice and he says something, but it's not his voice coming out of his mouth. It's the weirdest fucking shit, and it'll all be happening in the same movie. And then the movie's being carried by everyone else. There are other characters in the story, but there's nothing really you don't remember. They're not famous, and you don't remember those people, and the stories are just kind of muddled and confusing, and you're not sure where this story is fucking going, and you come to find out, really, in the later Steven Seagal movies, the ones that he's produced himself and sold, he just makes some video product that will have some shots of him, and he'll be on the poster and the cover of it, but he's not even in that movie, really. So there are Steven Seagal movies that he's not in, really. That's a weird concept.
It's just a concept of Steven Seagal in the movie.
Yeah, the concept is the Steven Seagal movie.
You can imagine putting him in there.
Yeah.
You know what would be funny is if they just had like a big fucking cardboard cutout of him and just kind of moved him around in the background.
So I think what happened is that Seagal has a fucking hardcore fan base that's small. And he knows that, well, if I put this movie out for $100,000, or total, it only costs $100,000, or maybe even if it's just $1 million. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
Just $1 million. What's $1 million?
Yeah, that he'll end up being able to pay everybody in the movie, and he'll make maybe $50,000 on it, and that might be enough for income for him to I'll take the $50,000.
Yeah, I could live on that for. Well, I don't know if he could live on that for a year because I feel like his food budget is probably way more than that. You gotta sustain that belly somehow.
He's evidently got a shit ton of kids by a whole bunch of different Eastern European women.
That does not shock me.
That was one of the things that he would do.
And I'm sure he paid for most of them too. Because he would sleep with him or her free, especially nowadays.
Actually, that Russian tour guide chick that I know says that fucking Russian women are fucking. She says they're ridiculous. Yeah,
they'll just hit whatever.
She was doing a tour with these two Indian guys that were doing some kind of tech work, and they were little fat zeros, you know what I mean? And they wanted to go to a nightclub, and she dropped them off at this nightclub, and she was going to go pick them up when they were done. They were like, "We're going to get some girls." These are guys in their 20s. She's thinking, yeah, right, you know what I mean? She goes and picks them up, and they were with fucking hotties. Hot Russian girls.
Yeah.
And fucking, she was like, man, these girls must have some rough ass living, because she says most of them live very rough.
So anything is a step up. That's kind of sad.
It's a step up. And then evidently the demographics don't quite play out in women's favor in Russia. Not right now. There's a shortage of men. A lot of the men that were worth something moved away, got out of Russia, or they got killed in some war somewhere. And there's many more available women than there are available Russian men. She said, if you're a good dude living in Russia, making good money, you're good looking, and you got your shit together, you're not fucking drinking yourself into a stupor every night.
Which seems like a low bar, but
yeah, she says you won't find.
Probably not though.
She says you won't hook up with a hot chick. You'll hook up with 5 of them. They have the wife and all the mistresses.
Pile on you.
Yeah, they'll just pile on you.
Sounds like maybe I should.
No, I think it's kind of transactional.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's kind of the whole idea of it.
I don't know how you'd actually value. I think the dudes that are doing that kind of get into a situation where they don't really value what they do have.
No, of course not.
Because
I
got a wife and 3 fucking girlfriends, and they're all 9s.
Yeah, if you can
and
get
I'm really only like an 8 or a 7. You know what I mean? And then it devalues and depreciates the value of getting any one of those.
And also gives the dude an unwarranted sense of importance.
Yeah, exactly.
And ego.
She
which
says
he
that.
does not deserve.
Yeah.
Which is going to make him an even bigger asshole than he probably was to start with. So, not great all around, is all I'm saying. Full Metal Nosferatu says, doesn't Seagal also wear sunglasses so he can read cue cards? Oh, that might be why.
Probably.
I thought that he was just trying to be cool, but cool in a 1980s Corey Hart, I wear my sunglasses at night kind of thing.
No, he's
but it's it might
cards.
be because of that, because he can't remember his lines.
Yeah,
even though he's only, the more recent Seagal movies that we watch just for shits and giggles, one, they were super boring.
Yeah.
Two, he's hardly in them.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, how hard is it to remember one fucking scene where you just sit in a chair and say like 3 sentences? Come on, dude.
I think there's a rock bottom base amount that a movie can pull in, and he just lives off of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Well, I'll just make 2 of those a year. And it's like the base minimum.
Because, man, I hadn't seen him in a while, and I just saw a video of him from, like, a couple weeks ago. Holy shit, he's so fat.
Yeah. I've made...
Like, because they filmed him from the side, and I was like, oh my god, he looks like a fucking beach ball.
I've made fun of him before. Like on YouTube in the comment section. Back when you could actually get notifications that somebody responded to you. If I make a fucking comment on a video, on a YouTube channel, people will comment and I'll never get a notification for it.
Yeah, they don't really do that anymore.
They don't do that anymore.
I get notified in my email when somebody comments on a video that I posted.
Yeah.
So it might be in your email. It's just that you never check your email.
Never check it.
Because I do get notifications in my email.
Right. And then
I just get there's so many that I can't keep up with.
Past few years,
in
past few years, I noticed that I'll make a comment and there doesn't seem to be any interaction. Nobody likes it. Nobody or fucking even responds to it. So I might be muted because over the years I probably said shit that the algorithms don't like. And I was making fun of fucking Steven Seagal one time, and I had dudes attack me. He does have fans. Oh no, he's a great man. You just don't know. You know, I just. What?
Okay, simp.
Oh, he wrote all kinds of good books about the fucking New World Order and shit. And fucking, there's a channel that once he read it, he read that book out. It was called the fucking something or other gentleman, the Savage Gentleman or something. He read the, and it wasn't big, it wasn't long. That it was like a 2-hour video because it wasn't a big book. And he comments during all that. It was one of those kung fu channels. Just how hokey. That his fans give him all this fucking credit, like he cracked the New World Order and all that kind of shit. No, everything in there was bullshit that he borrowed and probably heard off of Alex Jones, and then claimed for his own. Everything was cut and paste.
All of that
he's
conspiracy theory shit, that whole end of YouTube, that's all a grift.
Yeah,
they're all getting their ideas from the same place.
From the same place.
They're all repeating the same shit over and over again.
Yeah.
You know, and they all act like they're the only one that discovered it, and, you know, here's what nobody wants you to know, even though I'm totally on YouTube, and I'm just some random dude, and no one's killed me yet. It's like, come on, shut the fuck up. Nobody believes that bullshit. I mean, no, people do, but come on. If you thought about it for 5 seconds. It's like, really, if nobody wanted you to know that, there wouldn't be a video on YouTube about it. They would have taken it down, or somebody would have had you bumped off, or whatever. It's like the fact that you're still on there yapping about it means that, yeah, it's not really a big secret or nothing like that. We got a super chat from Bee's Nest. Thank you very much. He's got sexual problems. Don't we all? Yes. Well, I mean, no. We don't all have sexual problems. Papa77 said, I love the episode of South Park where Steven Seagal is in it and he's fat and a pussy. I think I saw that. When did that come out? Because I feel like that was a while back, but I couldn't believe, because like I said, I hadn't seen him in a while. I think I don't even remember what the fucking name of the movie that we saw. We were just scrolling through Amazon Prime one night, and we saw a Steven Seagal movie that was for free on there. It was like a newer one. And I was like, let's watch this. We were kind of like, let's watch this just for shits and giggles. I think we were kind of drunk.
What are we talking about?
I said that last one. I don't even remember what the fucking name was. Wait, was that the one that we watched? I was thinking of the one that had vampires in it. When did he make one with vampires?
We didn't see the vampire one.
Oh, I think I
just talked about that.
Oh, I think I saw that one. I think either Shitcase Cinema or Brandon Tennell talked about it.
Yeah, they were just talking about it.
But they show so much of the movie that it feels like
I think the one that we actually tried to watch was like Special Ops Sniper.
All of the titles are so fucking generic that it's just kind of like
horrible titles that are just like generated by the random.
You remember those old school? I don't know if you knew about these, but you could buy like little like poem kits, and they were like little magnets of words, and you put them on your fridge, and you could rearrange them and like and they had ones with different themes. So I feel like you could make a Steven Seagal movie title one of those, where you could just kind of like
turn the wheels and it'll come.
Yeah, and you could just like move the words around. It's like the words could be like
just
like justice.
Yeah.
What's
Out for justice, strike for justice.
Yes,
gun for justice.
That'd be a good one.
Fucking
violence,
lethal force justice.
Lethal, that's a good word. Yeah, you could just like have a bunch of words and just rearrange
injustice
them.
of lethal force striking.
It's kind of like Taco Bell's menu now.
It's just like Taco Bell's menu. It's all the same shit. It's just in a different combination. That's what it. Yeah.
That's kind of what that's like.
But look, man, as a child of the '80s, okay, growing up with all that shit with fucking action movies and everything, what happened with Steven Seagal? It was a tragic fucking tale. We've talked about it on the shows before. I don't know, maybe if you're an old listener, you know what I'm talking about. But
did we talk about him on the Bullshito show?
There's a lot of Bullshito. He is a martial artist, but he practices a fake martial art. Aikido is a fake martial art.
I mean, it's just not not a useful martial art.
No, it's a Japanese martial art on how a peasant can defend themselves against a samurai's sword. And it was invented like in the 50s when there were no peasants and there were no samurai running around. So it's a fake martial art. And it's kind of like judo, kind of. There's a lot of room for bullshit in it. Steven Seagal claimed that he fucking studied under a master of this shit back in Japan, which he was there. He got married to some chick and then dumped her and fucking, I think he might even have a child over there.
Probably. He's spreading his seed all over the fucking
Now, he did do some he did do some martial art competitions, which he did pretty good in them. But he was young. And he didn't do them for very long. There is some surviving footage of it. I think I was showing clips of it. And, I'm a professional fighter in the terms of fucking being ex-army infantry and understanding how to do shit with weapons, I can get physical. I can beat a motherfucker's ass. But there's a lot of psychology behind it. When you see Seagal scoring these fucking wins and doing shit as a young man, you don't see martial arts style or the effectiveness of some kind of magical, mystical martial arts being applied. What you see a bigger dude fucking intimidating and beating up on a littler dude. It wouldn't have mattered.
He is a big dude.
He's a big dude. It wouldn't matter if he had martial arts or not. You could take all his Aikido away and put him in front of that little Japanese dude and you would have fucking dominated him.
Because he's much larger.
Because he's much larger and much stronger. Especially when he was young and he was fast.
Well, and nowadays he could just sit on you and you'd suffocate.
Right. So, and most martial arts are that. If you understand Eastern culture, I lived in Korea for a year. I studied a lot of their thinking and their philosophies and what's behind it. There's a lot of bullshido in that. The Far Eastern cultures, they're all kind of related to Chinese culture, Korea, Japan. And then they were constantly at war with each other. But they were always kind of, especially in the past 500 years, I would call them milk toast. They're kind of a milk toast culture of going to these little schools and following a set ritualistic way of doing things. They don't have a really good mind-body connection, all right? And they're very polite and kind of restrained. And these schools were basically based around taking kind of low-test boys, mama's boys, that were not very physically big or strong, they didn't really work out, and try to get them to do a dance-like fighting style that they would call some form of self-defense. Now, if you were to take that middle-class or upper-middle-class Japanese boy who went to these little fucking karate schools at the age of 15 or 16 and put him up against a 16-year-old hood rat from Chicago who grew up fighting with his brothers and shit, he'd get his ass whipped. Okay? Because there was no holds bars, no rules, that kind of shit. Fighting, real fighting. Fighting styles are just styles. It's not fighting. And even Bruce Lee knew this. He's like, Bruce Lee's talking about a futuristic martial art that actually works, full contact fighting. And this is in a time when I was a kid too, we're like, oh my, that would be illegal. You're actually hitting each other without gloves and shit. Shit, that's attempted murder. That was the thinking at the time. No. Ultimate Fighting came fucking ultimate fighting, and then eventually it became fucking mixed martial arts. And Bruce Lee was foreseeing the coming of mixed martial arts, and so was Count Dante, who was kind of a fake in his way, but he really could fight.
Yeah, I will give him that.
He could fight.
He was crazy.
He was crazy, though. Yeah. But he's talking about mixed martial arts, and that's actually something that could work. Now, there was a guy recently in China who was an MMA guy who called him bullshit on all the fucking Chinese kung fu and tai chi type dudes and challenged them to a fight, and on camera whipped their fucking asses. Badly. And everyone in China came down on him online and fucking shamed him, and he was crying, okay, yeah, I didn't mean to insult Chinese culture. Fighting styles are not the same as fighting ability. MMA is fighting ability. Kung Fu, Karate, Aikido is fighting style. They're just teaching a style.
I mean, it's good for competitions and stuff.
Yeah.
And fitness and shit like that.
Yeah, but you even go back to fucking Bruce Lee, you know. Bruce Lee was not a professional fighter, although he did do some fights. Okay? But he couldn't do that all the time because he was an actor. He'd get hurt. He had to make money making movies. Bruce Lee came from Hong Kong theater. It was dance. Mm-hmm. All right, he knew it, but he wanted to find a real fighting style that is actually realistic. MMA. Now, was Bruce Lee good? Yeah, he was good. Could he fight? Yeah, he could fight. Could he step into a modern MMA ring and fucking win? No, he'd get his ass beat. But Bruce wasn't the kind of guy to go, oh, well, that's it, I quit. He'd be like, okay, I see what I have to do now. I need to get a ground game. I need to fucking gain another fucking 40 pounds of muscle. I need to fucking learn this and that. And Bruce Lee would have done good at MMA.
Yeah, he would have. Actually.
He would have adapted to it. Yeah, because that's what he was talking about. Now, that was not the case with fucking Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal was kind of like a charlatan. He wanted yeah, he was a pathological liar and wanted to be an actor and made some good movies in the beginning of his career. I liked fucking Hard to Kill. Fucking Under Siege was very good. He did some very good movies. But he bullshitted people and was too problematic and fucking lied constantly. And people started making fun of him. And
by all accounts, he was a giant douchebag.
And they blackballed him from Hollywood.
Because nobody wanted to work with him because he was a giant douchebag.
Yeah. Yeah. But his first, 3 or 4 movies was pretty good.
CB says, Seagal was in the British version of SNL, the Friday Night Project.
Yeah.
And he was the most boring and worst guest host.
Yeah.
And the presenter, Justin Lee Collins, was so disappointed because he was a massive fan. I never heard about that. Yeah, he was on SNL too, and they fucking hated him.
They fucking hated him.
They said, don't ever come back.
Yeah, he was not welcome back. He just said he was just an asshole.
Yeah, they said he was a huge asshole.
He took himself really seriously, and he was all about image because he was a fraud.
Yeah.
So he couldn't... He didn't.
Yeah,
he had no
stems
sense of
from
humor.
insecurity.
Yeah.
So he couldn't, because SNL, their whole thing is they have celebrities on, and a lot of times the celebrities will lampoon themselves. That's kind of the whole shtick, and he would not do that. And he was trying to write, if I remember correctly, this one sketch that I think had to do with raping a woman, and it was supposed to be funny or something like that. And they were like, "Bro, that's what the fuck? What? That's not funny. Why?" And so it's pretty infamous, that whole episode, and it's pretty well known that he has no self-awareness and no sense of humor about himself.
Yeah.
Which actually Chuck Norris was kind of like that too, but I think he kind of softened a bit later, maybe.
Chuck Norris could fight though.
Yeah, but I mean,
in the style that he was doing and in the arena that he fought in, he could fight.
I'm just gonna say that whether you can fight or not, if you can't make fun of yourself, then everybody is gonna kind of crack down on you.
Seagal,
because that's an insufferable kind of person to be around.
Seagal was uncomfortable with who he was. He wanted to be a fucking... He wanted to be as great as Bruce Lee in terms of fighter. But Bruce Lee was not a professional fighter. So that's a problem, okay? And then he wanted to be kind of like an Eastern philosophy guru, like the Buddha. Which that's not going to happen either. Okay.
Well, he's fat as the Buddha now, so he's got that going for him.
Yeah.
So he's got that going for him.
what Seagal was is that he was an entertainer and an actor, and he should have been happy with that. Had he just said, if they said, "What do you do?" I'm a martial artist, but I'm primarily an entertainer. Then people would have people would have liked that. But he tried to be something that he wasn't, and that backfired. Like, for instance, fucking Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes was an actor and an entertainer and a good one, and he was pretty good at martial arts style and dance. He evidently could fight, but he didn't walk around saying he was the next Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Everybody knew that Wesley Snipes was the actor.
Yeah.
You know, and fucking he was good. I like Wesley.
Like I said, you have to remain, and I think this is probably more important for people that get really famous. You have to remain grounded.
Yeah.
Like if you start thinking, it's just all rainbows and unicorn farts, and you're just like the best thing ever, then obviously people are going to get real sick of you real fast.
Yeah. Well, if you're making movies for a living, you're an entertainer.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a completely respectable profession.
That's your job. Right.
And to people watch that shit.
Yeah.
So.
And to try to step away from that and claim to be like a guru in a martial arts fucking end all to be all.
Like you're better than that.
Yeah.
Or
And like, oh yeah, I'm a spiritual leader.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. You're an actor. Dude.
And everyone is going to see straight through that.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Everyone's like, just stay in your lane, bud.
And he would get on talk shows and they'd ask him difficult questions and he'd start lying.
Yeah.
And he'd make up weird stories. I heard you worked for the CIA. Oh, yeah. Well, I advised for them. No, you didn't. I taught the CIA how to do some fucking.
So I heard you were one of the men in black. Do you know all about like the aliens that came to Earth?
Yeah,
and can you like erase my memory and stuff?
Yeah.
And he probably would have rolled with that too. Oh, totally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would have been funny if you had just come up with like some absurd shit, like to ask him to see how far he would go with it.
I think part of it is that he had heard what Frank Dux.
Yeah, somebody at Full Metal Nosferatu asked who would win a fight, Seagal or Frank Dux.
Seagal, probably in their prime. Seagal was
or what are we talking about? Like when they were both in their prime?
Yeah.
Probably Seagal because he was bigger.
He was bigger, right?
But
martial arts wouldn't have anything to do with it.
No, probably not. I think it's just size.
Frank Dux was another fucking bullshitter, just a pathological
there's a lot
liar.
A lot of that. Like I said, we did a whole show about it called Bullshito.
Bullshit, yeah. And Frank Dux was
a while back.
Was the guy who fucking was the inspiration, or he actually did the direction in terms of the story from what was the name of the Kumite? What was the name of that?
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport. Yeah. Bloodsport was about Frank Dux.
With John.
It was okay. Let me fucking correct what I just said. Bloodsport was about one of Frank Dux's lies that he told. Yeah. That's what it was about. That he went to a fucking.
Yeah, it was a tale.
He went to a kumite. It was just a fight of all the fucking martial arts and killed some dudes in fights and shit. It was all good because it was to the death type of deal where you could get killed. Well, that could happen in boxing. Dudes have been boxing, they got killed.
Yeah, but, a lot of boxers have died in the ring.
So it's just a lot of dudes got killed fucking racing cars, But it was a death sport. That's where there's probably a movie called Death Sport about that shit too.
Yeah, that's probably like the Asylum version.
Yeah, Death Sport.
I know Asylum didn't exist back when Bloodsport came out.
Yeah.
But I think there were other companies that were.
Yes, it is all just bullshito.
Full Metal Nosferatu said Hong Kong Phooey is more believable than Frank Dux.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, Frank Dux is full of shit.
Like I said, it's just.
When we were kids, though, we didn't know.
Yeah.
It was like wrestling.
I always kind of wonder about dudes like this that are these kind of like very obvious fantasists.
Yeah.
Like the shit they come up with. Like, and like I said, we did the Bullshito show, like Ashita Kim and people like that.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like, did they really... I think, to a large extent, they seem to believe their own bullshit.
No, they don't believe it.
You don't think so?
No, because when challenged to a fight, they won't go into the arena.
So they at least know enough, like, not to go get their butt kicked?
It's LARPing, fantasy. It's fantasy role-playing. Just like the dudes... It's just like girls that go to one of these conventions fucking dressed up as Chun-Li and shit. Yeah, she's got a killer body, but she can't fight like Chun-Li. That's the way Ashita Kim was. He was a LARPer.
Yeah, but I don't
Because
think
people would
most of
challenge
them.
him.
I think most of them are just doing a costume. They're not saying, "Hey, I'm going to kick all your asses," like I was in that video.
Well, it's just a joke.
Yeah.
Well, they're just doing a costume. But the thing is that Ishida Kim, his LARP was to go through the whole "I'm a ninja."
I think he really believed
I'm a
it,
real
though,
ninja.
to an extent.
No, if he really believed it, he would accept those challenges. People
think?
challenged him to go to fucking fight him in the ring, and he would no.
I can't imagine that mindset though. That's so alien to me.
Because he was making videos and selling them to children. That's what he was doing.
yeah, that's the
making
only people that
VHS
would
tapes.
buy them.
And fucking the dude that he trained with was fucking physically handicapped
Yeah,
and a fat guy.
yeah.
And you see them doing shit that's obviously not a fighting martial art.
One of my
It's
favorite.
obvious that he's not levitating. He said he could levitate. He's obviously just.
I was gonna say
picking his
that's
feet
one of
off
my
the ground
favorite,
like that.
and they had it was like a hula hoop or
It's
something.
a hula
right?
hoop. Yeah.
And his little sidekick or whatever, like it's like, look, he's levitating, and puts the hula hoop, and very obviously, like, kind of scoots it under,
And then goes around like
and
that. Yeah. Does the magician's trick poorly.
They didn't even edit it.
They even edited. You could
It
just
was
see
so great.
he went around his ass because his ass was on the floor.
Obviously still on the ground because
Yeah,
he's not
it's-
levitating.
Yeah, it's all just bullshit.
And it's like you could have at least edited it to like look a little bit better.
But it was
they
done with
didn't
it was done
do
with
that.
an old school fucking
So funny.
late 80s, early 90s fucking hand.
Yeah, he's totally levitating,
VHS
alright.
camcorder. And
Like,
he would,
why would you even? Why? Why would you even do that if you knew you couldn't do it?
total bullshit.
And the fight, and their ninja tactics. They're in somebody's suburban backyard, like
Yeah.
sneaking under the windows.
Under the window,
I'm
yeah,
like, wow, who would have
That's
thought?
a ninja tactic, yeah.
Going under the window so nobody sees you passing the window. Wow,
Yeah.
that's genius.
Throwing dirt in somebody's face and you
Yeah.
go around them, even though they have an M16 and fucking kill them with a knife. Just stupid shit that would
So
never
awesome.
happen. Okay.
I saw a fucking video somebody posted. I think it was from TikTok or something. Of this dude, this boomer dude. It was on that boomer subreddit. Of this guy who clearly thought, I don't know what's going through these dudes' heads, man. He's this old man with the standard old man, the now old man uniform of like shirt that's too big.
Yeah.
Usually a Guy Harvey shirt. I don't think it was a Guy Harvey shirt in this case. Big ass baggy cargo shorts, Crocs. They all kind of look like that, and they all kind of shuffle around. It's weird how they all kind of look the same. So he kind of looked like that. And he's in his kitchen, it looked like. And he's doing this ninja-like thing like that. And then, like, all of a sudden he's like, "Wha-cha!" And then, like, puts this knife and it goes, like, into the cabinet, I think, like, over the fridge. Like, he was trying to... he was doing some fuck... And the best thing about it was that, like, near the end of the video, a kitten walks into the kitchen and gives him a look like, the fuck you doing? Like, you know, even the kitten didn't know what he was doing. And I'm just like, why would you post that? Like, why would an old man post that? I don't understand. Like, did they think they looked badass? Or... I don't get it. It's just, it blows my mind. And like, I saw somebody post it, like I said, in the fucking subreddit, and they're just like, what is going through the minds of like old dudes that post shit like this? Because this wasn't the only one. This might have been the same guy that posted a thing. He had built this kind of like I don't know, like a thing that he could punch, like that looked kind of like a dude, but it was just like padding, you know what I mean, but like with arms and shit on it. And it was like in his backyard, and he's out there, and he's clearly old and kind of chubby and pretty slow. And so he's like demonstrating his fighting tactics, and he's just like, and that was about the speed. I'm like, dude, you would be so killed if you really got it at. And I'm just like, why? I don't understand why you would post something like that. I'm like, that looks really fucking pitiful. And I'm sad that you don't have anybody around that would tell you it looked. Although if somebody told him it, like his kids maybe, or his grandkids, they might see him and be like, Grandpa, oh my God, don't post that. Like, you look fucking pathetic.
Randy doesn't know
Shut up.
Randy doesn't know who Steven Seagal is. He sounds sleazy.
You're lucky.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Okay. There are the main Steven Seagal movie I would recommend was called Under Siege.
And that's an old one. That's when he was still thin
Still pretty
and
good.
young.
Yeah. Under Siege 2 is pretty good. I got that also.
I don't even really like. I don't like
Yeah,
any of his
Under Siege is
movies.
pretty good,
It's
yeah.
not really my thing. But
And,
but I will agree that was like actually a watchable movie.
And Hard to Kill was pretty fun.
Unlike most of his other movies, which are not watchable.
Hard to Kill was pretty fun.
But
yeah,
I don't get it. But there really do seem to be some videos, at least according to what I've seen, of like old dudes. And I think we were even talking about this today. Like I said, the old dude uniform with the big baggy shirt and the cargo shorts and the Crocs. They all look
Crocs,
like Like we used to laugh because every now and then we'd go to the Chinese buffet where there's a lot of old people in there because it's buffet, you know what I mean? And then we'd go to the bookstore after to get some coffee, and then we would sit there, and there was like, it was in a mall, so like you could see part of the mall, and like every single boomer dude looks exactly the same. They all have that same shuffly walk. Yeah. And they have that big ass belly. Yeah. And they have that big ass shirt that like hangs out of them, and they all have those baggy cargo shorts that go to their knees, and they almost all had Crocs on. Yeah. Or some kind of, or Birkenstocks. A couple of them have Birkenstocks.
Yeah, mall goth girls.
That was really weird. Yeah, with like you'd see like really they were still like teenagers
with bad hair, and
they were trying to like, we're gonna go to the mall. I mean, it's Eustis. We're kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Dress up as a goth to go to the mall.
To go to the mall,
and they're wearing denim. Denim and fucking blue denim with a corset, a cheap corset, and fucking bad hair. Yeah. Glasses with the corset.
I mean, I admire the effort at least. It's like we've all been there. Like we've all been teenagers and we didn't know what we were doing and shit.
It's a mixture of shit that doesn't work. You're like, that's not.
Although I kind of feel like people have the internet now, so it's like there's not really an excuse. Yeah. Like I kind of feel like younger people in our day had more excuse because we didn't really have anybody else to look at. Yeah. You know what I mean? But now you do, so you could do better than that probably. But like I said, I don't know. It's really weird. It was a weird mixture. We haven't been in a while, but
weird thing about Seagal is that he got a television series for a while.
He did.
Where he
that
played,
one where
he played a cop.
Yeah, he was like an honorary cop.
He was an honorary cop.
Was it in Arizona?
I thought it was New Orleans. Was it New Orleans?
Oh, maybe there was more than one. I was thinking, wasn't he friends?
He was like an auxiliary policeman.
Fuckhead, like that Arpaio fuckhead in Arizona. Wasn't he friends with that?
I don't know.
There was that whole.
I don't know who Arpaio is.
I think that was a whole fucking.
Who's Arpaio?
He was like a sheriff or something in one of the. I thought that was what. No, well, I thought there was a show too, like where he was that. No. Like they made him an honorary cop, and he could go and he was like repoing cars and all this kind of nonsense.
Yeah. I think there was one where he was being a repo agent. No, you got that. You might be confusing it. There was a repo show.
Well, I don't know if he was doing that.
And then there was also a bounty hunter show called Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Well, I know that show.
Yeah.
I'm not confusing it with that.
The Steven Seagal one, he was like some kind of a policeman, but I think he was an auxiliary police, and it was kind of like Cops, and it was him fucking bullshitting his way through being a police, and then a lot of the shit they did was totally staged.
Yeah, of course.
Totally staged. Yeah.
They tried to make
Steven Seagal Lawman, some shit like that.
Yeah, it was called something like that. That's like there's a subreddit called it's like r/I am so badass. Yeah. And so like a lot of that kind of shit shows up on there too. It's pretty funny. But yeah, I kind of feel like that falls into that department. I don't know. I can't stand like watching him more than he just like irritates the fuck out of me. I don't know what it is. I don't understand these people that are, like I said, just these fabulists. To me, it seems like a hard way to live because it's like, look, you're telling lies your whole entire life. Yeah. Your whole entire life is bullshit. How do you keep track? I mean, they don't, clearly, because they say stupid shit all the time.
They contradicts all the time. They're not keeping track.
But it's like people don't, and even when people call them on it, they like try to like spin some other.
That never happened, and that was Okay, here's the thing.
I don't understand people like that.
The dudes that were buying fucking Steven Seagal movies were basically the same people that were buying Ashita Kim videos.
Back when they were kids. They're just grown up now.
Yeah, and they are.
They still buy into it.
They are just as fantasist as Ashita Kim and Steven Seagal. They're the same. He's just like his fan base is just like him. That's why they defend
Other than
him.
the people that are into him ironically. Because
Yeah,
remember
exactly.
remember that dude that
Yeah.
hangs out with Angry Video Game Nerd?
Yeah, there's some people that collect
And that dude
everything
is
he
like a
does.
huge Steven Seagal fan, but he's like an ironic.
Oh,
Like he
knows
thinks
full
he's
of shit.
ridiculous,
Oh yeah, he knows it.
but he thinks that's hilarious. So he collects everything he's even got like some vintage Asian Experience energy drinks that like he actually opened one and drank it on the show.
Yeah, and
he has some that are
posters
unopened
from
that he got on eBay.
Posters from his like speaking tours about martial arts. A lot of Steven Seagal paraphernalia is worth money. There was even a series of action figures, little action figures. I think they're like 3.5 inch, maybe 4 inch action.
How
figures.
wide are they though?
Well, no, it's all the 80s type action stars, you know, and they're done right, you know, same faces and everything. And Steven Seagal's his action figures sold very well, and
I could see that.
Collectors.
Well, a lot of people still like his '80s movies.
Yeah, and he's it was from one of his cop movies, and you know he's not fat in it or anything. And that same collector bought that action figure and was like proud to have it. It's like he's goofing on it, but and it's still in the bubble wrap type, and it's in the fucking blister pack.
Yeah,
you know.
Because you can like stuff and still think it's ridiculous at the same time.
The action figure set that I was looking at going, yeah, I'd own that bitch, was the Predator 1 action. Each action figure was sold separately. It had the Predator, and then it had Dutch and all his fucking dudes. And it had the same fucking...
I'd buy that.
The costumes were right. The faces were right. They were fully articulated.
Man, they do some good fucking action.
They were kind of like a smaller G.I. Joe. They were about that big.
Yeah.
And they looked great, but they weren't cheap. They were like $100 a piece.
Well, yeah, like I said, only collectors buy them because they usually only make a certain.
Yeah, they were like limited edition,
like for a limited audience.
And they looked fucking great. I was like, oh, that's awesome. They had the guns right. Everything was accurate to the movie. And they get you because you know if you buy one, you got to buy all of them.
Well, yeah, you want the whole set.
They want the whole fucking set. Yeah.
I would buy it. Well,
yeah.
I mean,
they even had Anna, the girl.
That's cool.
They had her. They had them all.
See, I would buy shit like that, but that was a good movie though.
Yeah.
That's kind of different to what we're talking about. That was an actual good movie.
Yeah.
Predator. I think everyone would agree. Have you ever met anyone that didn't like Predator? I have not.
When I was in Brazil when I saw that movie, and when that fucking face mask came off that fucking Predator, I was like, this movie's a masterpiece. I was like, this is history.
Honestly, even now, that
like, this
prosthetic is fucking amazing.
I was like,
it looks so good.
At the time, I was like, this is the best movie I've seen.
I used to have.
It's still a great movie.
Back in the 80s, you know, being the little horror nerd that I wasn't that little. I was a teenager in the 80s. And I used to get Fangoria. And Fangoria would have whatever the big horror movie was coming out that month or whatever. They would have like a centerfold. Yeah. You know, like a porn magazine. But it was like gore and shit. And when Predator came out, they had the centerfold of the close-up of like the Predator mask with the makeup. And I had that on my wall for a long time when I was a teenager. I might still have it somewhere, to be honest with you. I probably do. I didn't really throw anything like that out. But yeah, I still remember that fucking poster on my wall. Like, it was like, you know, it's like 2 pages.
Big Dog says, Steven Seagal, glory hole attendant.
Yeah, probably.
He was the fluffer for the glory
Ew.
hole.
Ew. High Desert says, I wasn't allowed to dress goth as a teenager and couldn't afford to either. Well, here's the thing. I also could not afford to because I was broke dick. But I used to get all my shit from Salvation Army or Marshalls. Marshalls and Ross were actually like a good... They had a bunch of like normie ass clothes, but if you went in there every now and then and kind of dug through everything, like they would have like some weird shit in there sometimes. And it was cheap. You know what I mean? Because you could buy like normal ass clothes and you could like kind of goth it up. That's what we used to do before Hot Topic and before you could buy shit online and all that other kind of stuff. So it's like you had to kind of make your own stuff or put your own kind of shit together. So that's what I used to do. I used to go to Salvation Army, or I used to go to Marshall's, because there was a Marshall's not far from my house. And every now and then you could find like a really, really cool, like old, like Victorian looking long dress or something for like $15. Yeah. You know? And I used to get boots from the Army Navy store. Me and my brother both did. They were cheap. And, you know, that's just kind of what you did. You just kind of put shit together. People, the thing about it, like, we know, because, you know, we still go to clubs and everything like that. So we see a lot of younger people in their 20s and 30s that got into goth later. And they got into it primarily, like, they like the music too, but they got into it primarily through, like, TikTok and stuff. And a lot of them, because it's so much easier to get the clothes nowadays, and you can just go on YouTube and get a makeup tutorial or a hair tutorial or something like that. So they look fucking fantastic. I was like, that's kind of like what we wanted to look like back in the day, but we didn't have the resources. You know what I mean? Like, we looked okay, but if you kind of see like video of goths in the 80s, like, some of them look okay, but it's like some of them look kind of fucked up. Because, like, you know what I mean? It's like we didn't really have the options. We didn't have the resources that people have nowadays. So it's much easier, like, for them to look, like, way cooler. And they do look way cooler. Because we've seen, like, even at mannequins and stuff like that, like, we've seen some, like, fucking kids in their 20s and stuff like that who look just like they have full on, like, big death hawks and, like, fucking, they look really, really good. Like, the makeup is really good. So they know what they're doing. But like I said, it's a lot easier for them. You can get clothes a lot cheaper nowadays than you could back then. Back then, I remember saving up for like a year to buy a corset from a corset maker, and it was like $350, like, to get one that was like special made. Like, now you can get one for like $40.
Yeah, they're just as good.
And they're just as good,
yeah,
pretty much.
They make more of them now.
Yeah, so. Yeah, Heido said my parents always made me dress like a preppy. Oh, I can't imagine. I mean, my parents didn't get it, but they never, ever, ever shit on me about it. You know what I mean? They were just kind of like, well, that's what you like, so. They were cool with it. They were like, fine, you know. They never shit on me about it. They never said anything sideways. Like, maybe you should wear something else. Maybe you should. They just like, well, that's what she likes. So we're just going to deal with it. I literally never remember either of them, like, saying.
Yeah, permissive parents. Most parents weren't like that.
I know they weren't. I got very, very lucky.
Boomer parents weren't like that.
I mean, my parents are boomers too.
Yeah.
But I really
Most
don't.
Of them were
well,
like that.
I mean, because my dad was kind of a hippie.
Yeah.
A little bit, like, not a full-on hippie, but he had hippie tendencies.
My dad was a redneck.
My dad's kind of a redneck. He was like a hippie redneck.
My dad was a redneck. He didn't understand anything outside the redneck.
Yeah.
But he didn't have any pull with me, really. But I lived with my mom and my stepdad. My stepdad was a fucking stick-in-the-mud asshole. He was just like a corporate fuck. He didn't know anything either. But the thing is that I always knew that they didn't know anything, so I didn't really care what their opinions were. But they wanted you to conform. They were very authoritarian. They thought that you should.
They still are, kind of.
Boomers are authoritarians.
Well, they're they have like this weird, like, hierarchical mindset.
Yeah,
they have to know where you are in the hierarchy, so they know if they can treat you like crap.
They have to know what you are. And fucking, you have everything. Everybody was pigeonholed.
Yeah, everybody. They have to put you in a category.
Yeah, and it's
I don't understand that.
Part of being stupid.
Well, obviously,
most of them were stupid.
It's part of being stupid. Yeah. That's one of the best things you've ever said.
No, I say all kinds of shit.
No, it's true. That's true. It's true.
What happened was, in the world that they came from, the average dude could make a lot of money. Because the United States was still industrialized. They didn't have fucking a shit ton of fucking immigration coming into the country. So dudes could make money. Wages were still pretty high. So a working class dude could actually have the American dream of getting a job and that making enough money to buy a house, get
support a
married,
family,
and support a family.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore. And
couldn't do that. Dude couldn't do that today. He's too stupid. Okay.
Honestly, I have seen, and I've seen this on the Boomers Being Fools subreddit.
Yeah.
Several people have recommended. It's like, let's make a boomer reality show.
Yeah.
Where they take their own advice, go out, look for jobs, give people your resume, print out your resume and get a firm handshake. Go and watch them try to get a job in today's market, or try to buy a house in today's market, and it would not work because they haven't kept up with technology. Two, they have seemingly no idea how much shit costs nowadays. They don't know how to get a job.
Well, they don't know what's risky and what isn't. They don't know what's real and what isn't.
Yeah.
Like they'll get, they'll spend all their money fucking trying to help a Nigerian prince get his $1 million out of the
I want to talk about that a little bit too.
But my God, fucking buying something off of Amazon, that's dangerous. You know what I mean? That's
hilarious to me.
Yeah, they're stupid.
Like they want to use I don't know, man. It's like
the thing. They're not all like that.
They'll use their credit card at a store, like a physical store, but they won't use one online.
They don't realize.
I'm like, it's more dangerous.
Yeah,
honestly.
Because the thing is, it's basically the same thing. No matter what you do, data is transmitted across the internet.
Yeah, I mean,
doesn't matter if you buy it from the store or
it's
whatever.
Encrypted.
It's the same thing.
Your identity might get stolen. Yeah. That's just a chance you take. But your identity could have been stolen when you were using a credit card in a store.
Yeah, but
so.
Fucking.
I don't worry about it. Nobody wants my identity.
But Facebook calls them and says, "Well, shit." Facebook sent me a message and said that they needed my social security number because my account was suspended.
And I'll just totally give it.
Yeah, Facebook said that. So they oh my God, fucking. That shit was on television. It must be true. A fucking elected politician said it. It must be true. They
get taken in by like emails all the time, like all those fake.
Yeah, I was.
Emails were like, your bank says that you have to do this and on there. I'm like, fuck off. We just delete it. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, but they don't do that. They get all worried about it.
I watched a young guy, fucking in a video recently, fucking psychoanalyze boomers, and he got it right. He said, "Do you ever seen the Leave It to Beaver?" The boomers grew up watching Leave It to Beaver, which is a very idealized.
I've watched it also. It was. I'm not that old, but I watched it in syndication. Yeah,
it's a very idealized version of America. Yeah. That's what they grew up with. They don't realize that things have changed and that the United States is now a low trust society. All right, it's not.
And rightfully so.
Yeah, it's a low trust society. Well, just because people are predatory, and not only are the people predatory in this country. The institutions are predatory.
Well, the thing about it was shit was predatory back then. They just didn't realize it. It hasn't changed.
I don't think it was as predatory as it is now. I think it's more predatory.
Easier.
It's easier to be predatory.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing that's changed.
Yeah, and so they grew up believing that trusting authority, and that big institutions were treating them fairly, and that they were honest, and individuals were dishonest or could be dishonest. So they kind of had a back. What he said was, what that kid said, I call him a kid, he's probably about 22, 23. He mentioned Brazil, and I was like, oh yeah, because I grew up in Brazil partially, fucking in my teenage years. I love Brazil, it's like my second home. But he says they think they're in Leave It to Beaver, 1950s America, and he says they're not. They're more like in Brazil. It says Brazil, modern day Brazil has more in common with each other than the United States does to 1950s, 1960s.
Well, I will note that 1950s America didn't have much in common with Leave It to Beaver either.
I think for some people it did. I think.
But it was a pretty small percentage.
I'm not sure. I think people that owned televisions thought that that's the way the world was, and because they thought the world was like that, they behaved that way. So it was kind of like a.
And now they think that's the ideal, and everyone should be like that.
The boomers that ran Boomerville were far more intelligent than the people that run us. They knew a lot about advertising, propaganda, and the human mind. They knew how to sell products. They knew how to sell ideas. They knew how to use mass marketing. what they did is after World War II, they were brainwashing boomers into being that, because that was you could control them that way. You were making them safe.
Yeah, they were trying to like chill them out after.
Because they were all World War II veterans. Those dudes had been killing people, and they needed stability, and they needed to be under the control of their wives and the state. And you say, how are they in control of their wives? It was all male dominated. Yeah, bullshit. Fucking. In those days, men were basically trained to get jobs and support the family. If they went down, the whole family would go down. So you used the family as leverage to keep the man in check. If you act up, you'll lose your job, and then you'll lose your wife and your kids, and they'll be unemployed. So they were basically using the wife and kids as hostages. That doesn't happen now, because the women actually are making more money on average in the middle class than the guys are.
We get our own ass jobs.
They got their own ass jobs. So the man now no longer has any responsibility towards him. So he's kind of fucking retreated into a world of hedonism. He's just jerking it to porn. Guys in their 20s, they're not even running after women. I just saw a video the other day. Fucking guy compiled all these videos from these girls on TikTok complaining that guys aren't approaching them. And one of the clips was this girl says, "I'm out here walking around, my tits are jiggling like crazy, and none of these dudes even see me. I'm fucking." She said, "I'm about in the mood. I would feel better if I had what'd she say? She says, I'm about in the mood for like a construction worker cat call. Nobody fucking notices me. It's because those dudes are fucking jerking it to porn. They don't give a shit."
Oh, that was a setup, I'm sure. But like,
well, that's what she said.
Well, and I was gonna say,
these are women in their 20s.
To that girl, in 30 years, you will be happy that like dudes aren't.
Well, I don't know. Women want to get laid, and women want to have men,
But
no, I know exactly what she's saying. Does she want fucking Habibi from fucking Pakistan, who weighs $140 and doesn't have any money, fucking catcalling her? No, she wants Brad Pitt catcalling her, because it's just built into.
Brad Pitt ever catcalling?
Well, it's built in. Hypergamy is built into women. They want a high quality guy who's taller than them and makes a lot of money, successful, he's good looking, and fucking got a lot of charisma. Yeah, they want attention from those kind of guys. But in the younger generations, and you can't see, this is another thing, is that I'm not really like self-centered into where I think that everybody thinks like me. These generations think differently, and from the point of view, a lot of these young women in their 20s, they didn't grow up the way me and you did. They've only been in the game for a few years.
Well, that's true of every generation.
Okay.
Shit changes. That's just how shit works.
These young girls want to be catcalled by hot dudes because the dudes are.
Well, that one girl did.
Well, there was a lot of them.
Okay, so
but I'm looking at them and they're like kind of like upper end.
And like I said, 20s. When you get older, you will not like that. I don't like it. And when you're
not representative of the average woman.
Well, yeah,
Amy wants to be
neither are they.
Amy's your age. She wants to be catcalled by everybody. She pops her titties out. Redneck girls fucking love attention. They can't stand it that they're becoming invisible at 50. And most women at 50 are invisible.
But I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
You're projecting too much.
Well, no, I'm not projecting. I'm just saying
a lot of your average women, especially the ones that are now in their 40s or 50s, kind of grew up getting attention from guys, and now they're not getting any attention. Well, women got to realize that the average woman at 50 is actually in the same position as the average dude at 50. And you look at the average dude at 50, and he's got a big old fucking gut.
With his belly and his guy shirt and his cracks.
Right. Yeah,
shuffling around.
He is totally invisible.
They have that boomer walk.
Yeah, the boomer walk.
Well, 50s aren't. That's not boomer. That's Gen X.
That dude is totally invisible to a 19-year-old girl.
Well, they all look the same.
Yeah, and
to me, I'm old. I'm Gen X. I'm 50. I will be 53 in a couple months. They all look the same to me.
Yeah, also. They're invisible. Right. Well, when women start getting into that, where they're now invisible, it fucking hurts them, because pretty girls kind of grow up on getting attention. They miss that.
To be honest, I think in some ways, like, it sucked growing up being. I wasn't ugly. It's just that I was real shy. I was real bookish.
Yeah,
I
Jen's
was real
development
introverted.
is not the same as...
So it's just kind of like, so I didn't have the same experience.
Jen was a
like,
late bloomer.
oh, this hot girl that like got whatever she wanted from dudes and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So it's like, so I can see how if you were used to that from when you were 15 or 16, and then you got into your 30s and like suddenly no one was paying attention to you.
Well, kids happen.
Like, yeah, I can see how that would fuck you up.
Yeah.
I didn't have that experience. You know what I mean? I was kind of like, I was cute in high school, but I was kind of a little bit chubby. I was real shy. So I didn't really have like a lot of action going on. And honestly, like I got married real young. I never had any kids or nothing like that. I always had a good time, but I never had the sense that now that I'm older, I lost something because I didn't really have that.
Jen actually had kind of like a steady pattern of growth. Jen started to blossom in her late 30s. Okay?
Yeah.
You see Jen at 36, 37, she was fucking hot. She was hotter than she was in her teenage years.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So
objectively,
yeah.
I would say that.
So you do not for 1 second put yourself in the shoes of the average woman.
No, I don't. I'm just saying.
That's not the way the average woman
I'm just talking
live.
about like women that I've known and like other women that I've talked to and stuff.
Well,
like
a lot
that.
of your friends were ugly though.
They're not ugly.
I knew your friends.
No, you didn't.
Yeah,
no,
I
you
did.
don't.
The fucking one that tried to fuck me.
I'm not talking about.
back.
I'm not talking about her.
Okay.
I'm not talking about her.
All right.
You didn't know any of my friends from earlier, like a long time
some
ago.
of the ones I've known you during the time that I've known you.
No. I'm talking about like other.
Those girls were all trying to fuck me.
Yeah, I know she was.
Yeah.
That one girl was.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's like I said, everybody's different.
Yeah.
And I didn't really have the experience, but like I get how it would suck if you were used to being super pretty and just getting everything like super easy, and then like all of a sudden now you're 30, 35, 40 and like no one's really paying attention to you anymore, and it's like, you know, I can see how that would be a bitch. So I'm kind of glad that I didn't grow up that way. Like I said, I wasn't ugly as a teenager. I think I was pretty cute. I was an adorable child, honestly. But once I got into my teenage years, you know, like I got a little chubby. And I got into like goth punk and stuff like that when I was probably 12 or 13. So I looked like a weirdo. Like, you know, I had to have my head shaved and all this other kind of stuff. So obviously that's going to be off-putting to a lot of people. Not that I really gave much of a shit at the time. But, you know, so I didn't really have anything that I lost. You know what I mean? I mean, I got married early. Like, I met a dude. I actually met him. It was like a pen pal type of thing. Because he's British, Welsh actually, and I met him, and he came and met me, and like we kind of fell in love, blah blah blah, and we got married. We were married for like 14 years, so that worked out really good. But it's just kind of like I don't really have the same experience as maybe some quote unquote pretty girls had at the time. But like I said, a lot of girls are not pretty, so they don't have the same experience either. So it's like you can't generalize, because a lot of girls don't have that experience too. Because I knew a lot of really beautiful girls that did have that kind of experience, but I knew a lot of girls that were pretty but not model, you know, and they had a lot of different experiences.
That's Jen at about 38. Okay.
Tony took those.
Yeah. Okay. So Jen in her late 30s, man, was fucking cute, man. See a good picture of her face. All right. The average woman at 38 doesn't look like that. Jen was cuter at 38 than she was at 18.
I would agree. I would agree with that.
Yeah. Not everybody's the same. Jen kind of had a linear development, a climb. All right.
I'm kind of glad, though. I'm kind of glad that it happened like that.
Yeah.
Because if I had peaked when I was 18,
yeah,
and then it was all just like steadily downhill from
that's the problem.
That would have sucked. But I know like some girls do have that experience because like they're super hot when they're teenagers or when they're in their 20s, and then you know they marry, they have kids or whatever the fuck happens, and then suddenly they're older and they might still look good, but you know they're older now, and so they don't really have the same cachet.
You're saying very sexy, John.
That they had
very
back in the
sexy,
day.
John.
But I didn't have that experience at
Yeah.
all. Like I said, I know my shit is like fucking weird. I get that.
Your shit is very weird.
But
that doesn't normally happen.
No, I know.
The most vulnerable women that are out there, just ask a scam artist, are women in their 50s that were once very beautiful and now there's really nothing to them when you look at them.
And they're just kind of, well, like
those
I said,
are the ones all the internet scammers fucking go for.
I kind of wanted to get into because last night, just randomly, I'm scrolling through Hulu and I was just kind of like, I want to watch something because I love true crime, but I know that Tom is like, I can't watch it too much because he'll get depressed because he's like, this is a bummer. So I was like, well, I want something crimey but not murdery. You know what I mean? So I'm scrolling through Hulu and I found this little like mini series. It was 3 episodes that was about romance scams. And I was just kind of like, well, that sounds kind of interesting. No murders involved. So I started watching that, and it was fascinating. It was actually fascinating. I knew some of the stuff about it, so I knew a little bit of the background. But it actually it's on Hulu if you have Hulu. It might be on some other streaming services, I don't know. But I think it was called Hey Beautiful, The Anatomy of a Romance Scam, or something like that. Like, you could probably find it if you search it. But it's 3 episodes, and it was about this particular scam that happened, I guess, like in the 2010s sometime. They particularly focused on 3 women who had been scammed by this one dude, and they thought it was the same dude because he was using the same pictures and stuff like that. You're pretty much your classic romance scam that, like I said, and we were talking about boomers before, they seem to fall for this kind of shit. I don't know how they do. And like I said, I'm old, like I'll be 53, but it's like the shit that they, like the texts that they showed, it's like, why? I don't understand like why you would, I could not be lonely or desperate enough to fall for that. Sorry.
It goes back to what I was saying.
Not victim blaming.
The women that didn't fall for the scam as badly were women that were never good looking. Because they were like, this is suspicious. The ones that
why would
really
this good looking motherfucker?
You're right. Why this
I'm in love with you, blah, blah, blah. They wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe it.
Right. But the girls, the women that fell for it, women in their fucking 50s, they were still pretty good looking for 50s. I can tell you when they were younger, they were much better looking. That became their standard norm, is to have fucking good-looking guys running after them.
Well, and to be fair...
And then they missed it, so they fucking got sucked right into that shit.
The women that fell for it, in a couple of cases, were in a really vulnerable position. Like, the one woman that was from Canada, she had just left her husband. Her stepkids basically told her to fuck off. They didn't want anything else to do with her. Her dog had just died. Like, there was all kind of shit happening, and she was just really, really lonely. The other 2 women were actually married, but the one woman in Connecticut had been married a very long time, like 51 years. They've been married a long time. She met him in high school, like when they were 16 or something like that. And, you know, as time goes on, obviously you've been married that long, it's like, the dude's not going to pay that much attention to you anymore. And so she was like lonely, and she would like play all these games like online, like trying to get some kind of connection because she was very social, and she kind of fell for it that way. The other woman, who looked like she was in her 50s, but she was still like in good shape and was still like a decent looking woman. She was like a German woman. She was in Frankfurt, and she was married, but she wasn't real sure about the marriage. She was just kind of like, maybe I made a mistake, like marrying this dude or something like. So she was kind of like I said, in a vulnerable position.
Yeah, she sent the dude $250,000, or
more than that.
$475,000.
More than that. And like the thing about it, it's kind of interesting because this show went into. They kind of make you think in the first episode that this dude, because the 3 women that they're talking to, they're talking to what looks like the same dude. It's like the same dude's pictures, and it's like they FaceTime with him, and it looks like it's the same guy.
I don't know how they did the FaceTime.
Well, they showed it later. I think you were in the bathroom, like how they did it. But
because they thought they were talking to him FaceTime.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
But like, yeah, they faked it.
They faked it somehow.
But they all fell for him in different ways. But the crazy thing about this show was that guy that they thought they were talking to was also a victim because he had no fucking idea that scammers were using his images that he had posted on Instagram and his videos to scam these other women. Yeah. They found out later, like, because they reported to the FBI and all this other kind of stuff, they found out later that there was like more than 100, I think there was 130 accounts across various, it was Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, dating profiles, all this other kind of stuff, using this dude's images. Yeah. And he's just like, look, I'm just like, he's like, I'm a gay man.
Yeah, he's a 50-year-old gay dude.
He's like, he was 54 or something 55, like that. Yeah. He's like, I'm a gay man who lives in Los Angeles. He's a makeup artist and an actor.
Yeah. And a leather daddy.
He was a leather daddy also.
Yeah, he wearing chaps with his ass hanging out and shit. Yeah, yeah.
He seemed, you know what? He seemed fucking delightful. I'm going to hang out with that dude.
He was a nice guy.
He seemed like a really cool...
His brother worked for an airlines.
He seemed like a really cool
giving
dude.
him all kinds of fucking free flight time through all these bonuses.
Because they thought he was the one that was scamming them, but he wasn't. So, people were just stealing his
So he was
image.
able to travel to all these other countries. And he was posting all this shit up on Instagram.
Like, hey, I'm in Vietnam. Hey, I'm in Germany. Hey, I'm here and there.
So they were stealing all his photos.
All his photos.
And he was a model. He was a 80s. He was, a...
Good-looking dude. He's a good-looking dude.
He was an older male model.
Yeah.
And he was doing workout videos and shit, And
yeah, because he's like, ooh, the gay men, they love the gym videos.
But they had tailored all of his photos and videos to make it so they could send it to these women so they could use him as like a puppet, like a sock puppet account.
Yeah, and they had like 130 different accounts. Yeah. And what they found out later,
he had nothing to do with it.
No, he didn't know.
He kept getting all these emails from people, and he's like, "What the fuck is this? Some kind of spam?"
Yeah, he kept getting emails from women that are like, "I love you," and all this. He's like, "Who the fuck are you? I don't know what's going on."
He didn't know who they were.
And then like eventually he found out that scammers mostly in Nigeria were using his photos. Because what they'll do, they said, look, there was even an open Facebook group for a while. It's like it's kind of closed up now. They call them the Yahoo Boys. There's all these scammers in Nigeria. And they trade scripts and photos. They're like, look, we pulled all of these photos off this person's Instagram or their Facebook or whatever. And we have all these scripts that you can use to like scam women out of money. Yeah. And that's what they did to him. Now, the Canadian woman, it was kind of hilarious because, look, I'm a graphic designer. I use Photoshop extensively. And the hilarious thing to me was that there was a woman in Ontario, Canada, who got sucked in by this, like thinking this dude was... How did she meet him? I think it was on a dating site. Like some of the other two were not on dating sites, but hers was. And
they'd make dating profiles with using his pictures.
Yeah, but like not just dating profiles, because the heavy woman from Connecticut, she met him on Words with Friends. Yeah, like he messaged her on there, so they have him everywhere. And then the German woman, they messaged on LinkedIn, which is like a business, like
it wasn't
a
one
business.
Dude in Nigeria. It's a whole organization.
Yeah, it's a whole organization, and they trade packages.
Yeah.
Of scripts, and here's all these photos, and because this dude was a good-looking dude, he traveled all over the world, so he had pictures on his Instagram different in the gym. He's in Germany, he's in Vietnam, he's this and that and the other. So they could come up with all kind of crazy stories about him.
Him in the hospital, so they could say,
there was a picture of him, like, where he got back surgery, and so, like, they could use that.
And these boomer chicks were fucking falling for all this shit, man. Fucking, and it was ridiculous shit. And they had never met this dude, and they thought they FaceTimed with him, but it must have been a pretty shallow FaceTime. Oh. Maybe they have some kind of fucking... did they use some kind of animation program?
So the FBI guy... He wasn't FBI, but he was, like, sending the stuff to the FBI. He was, like, an investigator. He said there's two ways they do this. They either do AI, which, obviously... Because I've done it before. You can upload a picture of a dude's face, and you can talk in the thing, and it'll talk like you're talking. and it's like it's their voice, but it's like it's that person's face. So it's like either they did that, or they used two phones and took a video that dude had posted previously and recorded it with their phone, like on another phone, and then put their voice over it, and then excused the difference in the lip moving and stuff like that with like, oh, there's lag or something like that. It's like that's probably what they did, but it's like because the AI doesn't look super convincing, but it's like there's a couple ways you could do it.
Yeah. Well, boomers are not reacting too well to AI.
Obviously.
The guy that was talking about boomers and AI.
Oh my goodness.
Was fucking pointing out all these fucking stupid shit that boomers fall for. One of the ones was a photograph. It looked like it was a photograph off of Facebook. Of an AI photograph of a little boy in a snowsuit on skis.
Oh, I've seen that.
And next to him is a dog in a snowsuit on skis.
I just saw that today.
All the boomers, that is so cute. Look at him. Can the dog ski? And all kinds of shit. Like just they're talking about how cute
they're like, baby, that's not real.
Oh, but they don't realize that is not a dog and that's not a little boy. That's a video image. Fucking.
Look, I work extensively. I work in advertising. In case you didn't know, so I work with AI to some extent. Trying to get, especially if it's a client that wants a very specific, because I work for a lot of car dealerships and stuff like that. And one video, like just for a specific example, like earlier I was doing a video for a dealership in Florida that wanted to do like a whole Florida Man campaign. And they wanted a dude that kind of looked like Burt Reynolds from the 70s, but like its own thing, you know what I mean? Driving a particular kind of pickup truck, like down a road in Florida. So it's like, obviously you can't find videos of that, like stock photos, unless you want to pay for it. So I made AI generate it, and you know, it took a while, but they did eventually do a good job. If you have a good prompt, you know, you can come up with a good thing. But I don't know if it's just me, because I'm a graphic designer and I've been working with this shit for a long time. You could tell it's AI still.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of tells, but I guess boomers
they believe what they see.
Get that. And I'm like, do you see that bitch has 6 fingers?
20 years ago, they were telling you, don't believe what you see on the internet, kid. But now they believe
that's
everything.
That's what's crazy.
Yeah, they believe
everything they see.
They believe everything they see and everything they hear.
I could put up a literal picture, because, man, AI is still problematic, because, like I said, I work with it a lot.
Yeah.
And I try to get it to generate specific things, and sometimes it takes forever.
Yeah. I've seen some fucking AI porn that's fucking amazing. Like, that's fucking awesome. But then you go, wait a minute, hold on. What's that third leg coming out from? There's another leg with another shoe on it back. Where does that come?
Very common.
There's just like, you know. Like,
I wouldn't post that if I was. I would try to generate another one. But like, that's very common.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, because like I said, I'm usually looking for something very specific, and because I work for car dealerships, usually they'd be like, well, we want an image of, like something I had to do recently, we want an image of a Kia Sportage, like on a street in Jamaica, like because it's Jamaican Independence Day, right? Because they wanted it. There's a big Jamaican audience, like where they are, so they wanted to target that. How many fucking generations did I have to go through? Holy crap, it took so long. Yeah. Like, to come up, every single time something was wrong. Like, the Jamaican flags weren't right, or there was some person with 3 arms, or the car wasn't right, or something like that. So it's not perfect. But if you have patience, you can come up with something that looks realistic enough, clearly, to fool boomers. I am not fooled because I work with this a lot, so it's just kind of like it's pretty obvious what's AI and what's not. Yeah. But as time goes on, I think that it will be harder to discern. Now you can still obviously tell when it's AI, but I think as time goes on, it will become harder to, which is kind of scary, but you know, not much you can do about it, honestly. Technology is kind of progressive.
Some good comments back there. You probably ought to go back and see.
Okay, I gotta pee though. Hold on. Hi Desert was saying very sexy. Oh, that was the pictures that you posted earlier. Yeah. Papa said, I think you are sexier now, Jenny. Yeah. I kind of like. I
said I was active.
I mean, I'm selfish. Yeah. I'm not. I kind of think so too. I'm not,
They're also kind of bootleggers.
egotistical like that, but I do think I look better now than I did when I was younger.
Jen's body actually is better now than it was ever. Even those photographs I showed you, she had a nice body there. She was kind of skinny, but she didn't really have any muscle definition, and she had some loose skin because she had lost a bunch of weight during that time. Jen now, she's starting to become fucking like cougar queen. Big muscular legs, building up a big booty. Her arms are great. Hold your arms out. She doesn't have any kind of loose hanging.
Well, for a while, you know what's crazy is that for a while I had like the old lady baggy arm thing, but I started doing some weights with it, and it doesn't take much. I don't do hardly any arms. I mostly do legs.
Yeah.
But I only have to really do like barely any arms, like once or twice a week.
Yeah.
And it tightened that right up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was bag. It was like down here. It was like that.
She's been on gear. She's done a couple cycles of
I am
steroids.
doing that,
Sure. And now she's on female hormones right now. Fucking, she's on super physiological doses of estrogen and progesterone. And give her I shouldn't have to give her any testosterone for a while. We're going to let her, but she's going to start getting feminine out in a while. Some people are going like, man, her voice, this and that. That's only temporary. It takes time, but that could come back. It could get a lot worse. Some of those girls that were pro bodybuilders, but
well, I told
we're
you
both being rebuilt.
I think that
I'm only just a few pounds away from being a men's fitness model. I'm like 12% body fat. I'm trying to get down to about 9 or 8, which I'll probably hit that in about 3 months. Fucking, I'm 56, bitch. I've never looked this good, actually.
I'm not as bothered about my voice as you think that I'm bothered about it.
Well, some people fucking mention about, man, her voice fucking, but she had a kind of a squeaky voice when she was, earlier. But any woman, when she becomes very physical working out, even if it's natural, when she's a teenager, it'll do that.
I'm not bothered. I just thought it was kind of interesting.
Yeah,
I thought it was interesting that like people commented on it.
A lot of and
I didn't really notice it. Honestly,
a lot of dudes' fucking perceptions are kind of skewed. I know for a fact. I know people in local porn scene here, and fucking I know steroids and shit like that. A lot of these fucking girls that are on porn are on steroids, and they don't even work out that much. It's just that it does have beneficial effects to the human body and tighten things up and fucking make things more plump looking, and they work out a little bit, but most of their workouts just get fucked. That's their calisthenics.
Well,
a lot of those girls do that shit all day.
Well, and they have to like put themselves in like these awkward, uncomfortable positions.
Yeah, and they're fucking making their, it's not real sex. It's more like modeling. They're just trying to get these scenes done, And if they're independents, they have to make a lot of them. And a lot of it's solo shit that they're doing.
It makes me tired just thinking about it.
Yeah, we did it part time.
Yeah.
Fucking when she was in between jobs and shit. It's to make all that material, man. Fucking,
it's
fun, a lot of work. It's fun. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and it's not like normal sex.
And like I said, I would never disparage anybody for making money that way because. Holy crap! It's like I said, it's a lot
and to make a decent income on it, it's not. People think that you just sit back and automatically make money. No, you got to constantly be posting and posting. Man.
There's so much competition.
The social media fucking is.
And honestly, the best way to go about it, you got to find a fucking niche.
Yeah.
Because if you're just doing normal shit,
you'll get lost. Yeah, nobody will see it.
Nobody will see it. Like there's so many people.
So much competition.
Just doing regular. Yeah, there's a lot of hot girls out there with big titties and shit like that. If you have some hot chick
who is just stepping on spiders and drinking up the fucking squish spider juice, you'd probably make a shit ton of money.
Well, yeah, because
you'd be the only one.
You'd be the only one doing that. Well, I don't know if you'd be the only one. I'm sure there's at least a handful of people out there doing that.
Every weird motherfucker.
Because every fucking weird thing.
There might only be 1,000 dudes on the planet that's into some weird shit. But they're gonna give you all the fucking money.
There's like finally.
Yeah. There's
my very specific fetish.
My bug drinker. Yeah. It's fucking weird.
Who's drinking the spider juice?
Yeah.
I can't watch people step on spiders.
Yeah, man.
I remember when we watched the riff tracks of what was the movie with the Shat?
Oh, Kingdom of the Spiders.
Kingdom of the Spiders.
Yeah.
And I remember really liking that movie as a kid, but I didn't realize how much they killed actual spiders in that movie, and
When they weren't supposed to.
Did not like it.
The owner. That
I was like, they just stepped right on that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
No.
And the dude that rented the spiders out and shit fucking said, "You're not gonna hurt any of them." No, not gonna hurt. No,
of course not.
They killed a shit ton of.
Oh my god.
Just paid
I was
him
like,
off.
you guys are assholes. Assholes. The only animals I don't give a shit if you kill in fucking movies is cockroaches. You can kill all the cockroaches you want. But other than that, come on now. Especially like those big tarantulas and stuff. Those are like cool and they're expensive. You know what I mean? Fuck, man. I didn't realize.
To go to the restroom?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I'm gonna answer a question.
Okay, I'm gonna get.
What do I
another
recommend to get rid of love handles? All right. I kind of had just congenital fucking love handles, man. I had them. Yeah, I was like born with them. Yeah, I was like born with them bitches. And they didn't start. They didn't really start going away, and I even had them like through the army when I was in the infantry. And man, I was fucking doing a shit ton of cardio. We were running fucking sometimes 6 to 8 miles at a time, a day, and then doing fucking forced marches with rucks and shit, going through field problems, and I still kind of had them. Love handles and shit. Some people say they're not really made in the gym; they're made in the kitchen. All right. So in other words, there's no exercises you can do to get rid of them, and so you do it through fucking diet, all right, and dieting. But I'm gonna call bullshit on that. That doesn't do it either. What did it for me was fucking clenbuterol, which is a fucking drug. Clenbuterol will do it. You can get it through the gray market online if you're using cryptocurrency. Clenbuterol is a pill you take, pills that it's very similar to albuterol, which it was a asthma medicine. You know the little asthma fucking pumps? That's albuterol. In other countries, they have a different version of that called clenbuterol, which has a longer half-life. Okay, so in other words, it's in your system a lot longer. There's something about that chemical that's a little bit different. And one of the weird things about clenbuterol is that it mobilizes fat reserves and it burns fat. Okay, it's just one of the side effects. It's actually a bronchial. What do they call it? Bronchial dilator. Now, clenbuterol got banned by a bunch of sporting commissions because athletes were taking it. It allows you to breathe a lot easier so you can run fucking harder and do kinds of shit when you're young. But it also fucking burns a lot of fat. So get your hands on clenbuterol. Take about 120 micrograms of that shit a day. Now, it'll make your heart kind of fucking race. It'll give you weird feelings, make your fucking hands shake. But after a while, you kind of get used to it, and that kind of goes away. That was one of the ones that helped. Another one I take is called T3. I haven't been taking T3 for very long, and it's an insulin stimulator. It somehow stimulates your system to have a better insulin response. And if you're on a decent dose of T3 and clenbuterol together, and you keep your diet reasonable, and you're doing your daily life and maybe lifting or doing running or something a couple times a week, you'll lose between 1.5 to 2.5 pounds a month of fat. Yeah, I lost a lot of fucking fat just by fucking lifting on tests and steroids and shit over a 6-year period. But it's always that last 5 pounds. It's getting down into the single-digit body fat percentages. That's the hardest part. And almost everybody that I know, if genetics doesn't do that, some people are just genetically built to like that. That's the way they deposit fat. If you're not genetically like that, it's going to take some kind of drug. Now, once you've achieved the desired effect, you can come off that drug. And as long as you're not fucking overeating and you're keeping your diet in check, it'll stay like that. All right. And if you gain a few more pounds and it starts coming back, you go back on to clenbuterol. That's the name of the game. All these actors and actresses and all these motherfuckers that you're looking at going, man, I wish I looked like that. I wish I looked like Brad Pitt in Fight Club. Drugs. They're taking clenbuterol and testosterone and sometimes nandrolone. One of the nandrolones, probably Deca. It's the most common ones. And as long as you're doing it under supervision of a professional, a doctor or sports medicine guy, they use sports medicine doctors, high performance doctors. They'll get you fucking jacked. But you got to work, too. You got to diet, lift weights, run, or bicycle, something like that. But it makes it a lot easier when your fucking metabolism is fucking loaded up on fucking hormones and shit like clan. So I'm answering your question. That's it. Done.
John Newland says, I was bit by a brown recluse. Fuck spiders. My brother, Eric, was also bitten by a brown recluse. He was out in the woods. And that shit is no joke. You could see... I don't remember how old he was. He was older. Like, I think he was in his late teens or early 20s at the time. And he didn't go to the doctor for a while because, probably no insurance, as we have done most of our lives. So we're just like, well, if we're dying, we'll go to the doctor. But other than that, we're not going to because we can't afford it. But you could see it bit him on the knee. He was out hiking or something. And you could see where the poison was going up his leg. Like, you could see it in the vein. And we were all kind of like, you should probably get that looked at. Not great. So he did, and they said, oh, thank God, like you came in, if that had got to your heart, you would die. So for a while, his leg was all fucked up. He had to walk with a cane. Because I remember going with him, I think it was to a Bad Religion show, actually. Me and him went to. And he had a fucking cane at the Bad Religion show because he'd been bitten by a brown recluse. So, don't fuck around. But that said, I don't know. I still like spiders. Yeah, it's like they're venomous and stuff like that. But I don't know. I still kind of like spiders. Fuck cockroaches, though. Fuck cockroaches.
It's almost 10.
That's all right.
All right, I'm gonna get another drink, and then after this, we're gonna. I'm gonna be fussy after this drink right here. We might have to go get something.
Are you telling me you're gonna be fussy?
Might be fussy. I'm predicting fussiness.
He's pretty fussy.
I'm predicting fussiness.
He's pretty fussy at this point. Well, at least you're warning me. Oh my goodness. That's pretty funny. But yeah, like I said, I actually quite like spiders. I like bugs of all kinds. Except roaches. They can fuck off. And flies not great either. But I don't hate them as much as I hate cockroaches. John Newland also said stay on top of your blood work, Tom. Yeah, I mean, he keeps track of his... We have a, a blood pressure thing, like checker. So he checks that pretty... Like, I check it too, but it's like... My blood pressure has always been weirdly low, no matter what I do. No matter how much I weigh, no matter what I do, like, my blood pressure is, like, super low. Actually, when I lost, like, 90, 100 pounds, my blood pressure got so low that I was constantly passing out, and they kept sending me to, like, a cardiologist because they thought... They even put a heart monitor on me and everything. And they said, well, because it's the thing where they put them, I don't know if you guys have done it, but they put this monitor on you for a week or 2 weeks or something. I don't remember how long it was. And it sends data back to the lab so they can monitor it. And they said, well, it's like your heartbeat's kind of irregular. Like it speeds up and slow down and speeds up and slow down, like in a weird kind of pattern. But it's like we don't think it's anything to be alarmed about. And I haven't really had that many problems since then. I'm still I still get dizzy and I still kind of like pass out sometimes, but it's not as bad as I used to be. I think it was just because I lost a bunch of weight quickly, like not, relatively quickly, like over 5 or 6 months. And I think my body was so used to pumping blood through a 100-pound heavier body, and that I lost so much weight so quickly that I think that my heart took a while to compensate. Like I said, I think I still have flashes of that now, where I'm just like doing regular shit and I'm just like whoa, and like I get super dizzy and like fall into the wall and stuff. But it's not as common.
She lost all that weight. Her blood pressure dropped down through the bottom too.
Because like I said, my blood pressure, even when I was real heavy, my blood pressure has always been very low.
Yeah. She made her a great candidate for fucking steroids. You know, worry about blood pressure there.
Yeah, my blood pressure has always been.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It might be some genetic thing. But my blood pressure has always been below normal.
Here's the fucked up thing. If you're a dude, you try to get your hands on when you're older, or just you're an older dude. You try to get your hands on fucking male hormones like testosterone and shit like that. You gotta jump through fucking hoops to get that. You're gonna have to go through the fucking deep web and not female hormones. Jen got on there and fucking in 10 minutes. She got a fucking prescription through a fucking cyber doctor and everything just delivered right here to the house and cheap.
Well, it was $200.
Yeah, but that was
$211 for 3 months.
That was a 3-month supply. That's cheap.
Of estrogen and progesterone.
And progesterone, yeah. Which that's standard female hormone replacement therapy for postmenopause. And she's taking higher doses, a little bit super physiological of the fucking... And they don't really care how much you buy. But testosterone shit, man, they don't want you to have that. That's like you're fucking ordering some deadly poison. You might go out and get too macho for a motherfucker. But they don't care about the fucking female hormones. That insulted me.
Well, it's not like we're gonna go be serial killers.
I was just like, what the fuck? And it's where all these little Trantifa chicks are coming from. It's all these damn fucking pills you can just sell them. But when women get older, they need to have hormones of some sort.
Well, you gotta replace the shit.
And I was looking through my fucking back channels. I was going like, I can't get a hold of fucking estrogen. Or even progesterone.
Because he was trying to get that.
I was trying to get it through and I got that shit over fucking Google. Local fucking suppliers. It was here like the next day. It was ridiculous.
The next day.
Ridiculous. And she didn't have to talk to a doctor. She just answered a questionnaire.
It was a huge questionnaire. And you're just like, yeah, whatever.
The $20 for the doctor fucking consultation, and fucking as a cyber doctor. There wasn't even a fucking cam to cam shit. She had to give her fucking ID, and boom, they sent it to her. I was like, fuck, that's it. Why aren't male hormones easy to get? Because they don't want you to get fucking jacked and beating a motherfucker's ass. I guess that's what it is. Because tests should be just as easy.
Or there's no money in it.
I don't think there's any money in any of that shit. None of it's because it's not that expensive, and none of it's patented. Because you bought generic versions of it. It's been around forever. But women over the age of fucking 40 really need to be on
well, it's hormone replacement.
Estrogen.
That's the same thing they would give you if you went to the doctor and you'd gone through menopause, which I have.
Yeah.
So they would just give you the shit to like replace it. You know. I haven't really noticed any side effects of it. The only thing I noticed, because I told him this, because he was asking me, well, do you feel any different? I said, literally, though, and this is pretty minor, I said, the only thing I noticed was that I get tireder working out quicker.
Yeah.
And I've had some weird-ass dreams.
She sleeps a lot more soundly.
I think that's probably what
she goes to sleep, she starts sweating.
Man, I had some weird-ass instantly. Holy crap. I had like the weird ass. I don't even know if you remember this because you woke up, but I don't know if you remember you waking up. I had this fucking weird ass dream where I was in this fucking maze or house or something like that, and my brother, my youngest brother, I have two brothers, but my youngest one was in there, and it was a fire, and he was there with his wife, but not his wife now. It was actually his first wife, which is crazy because I don't remember what her name was because they weren't married that long. But it was her, and they were trapped in the fire somehow. And I was just like, I got to go in there and get them. And then, like, I went in there to get them, and it was like this weird maze, and like I went into this dark room, and there's like the fire was kind of over there, and I was just like, are you guys in here? Come on. Like, and I went like that, and somebody bit my hand. And I was like, what the fuck? I think that's what woke me up. And you were just like, what's the matter? Because I was just like, somebody bit me. You know what I mean? Somebody bit my hand. And the thing about the dream was that he didn't want to come out of the fire. Like, I was trying to help him.
Yeah, you were telling me about the fire.
Yeah. And it's just...
Your brother was in a fire.
Yeah, because you asked me, it's like, what's the matter? I said I was having a nightmare. It's like my brother was in a fire. And I was like trying to get him out of the fire. But it's like somebody bit me. I don't know if it was him or if like somebody... Like, I very clearly felt like human teeth on my hand. That's what woke me up. So I've been like having weird dreams like that. Like, not nightmares necessarily, but just like fucking weird, depressing dreams.
What I've noticed so far is that she falls asleep very quickly.
I do fall asleep quickly.
She sleeps a lot more soundly, which that checks out. When I went on test, man, I fucking love sleeping. And sleeping is like... We wake up healed, you know what I mean? Fucking, which when you're in your 40s and you had low tests for a long time, because after 35 it goes down. You forget what it's like to sleep like a teenager. I sleep like a teenager. I remember, you just, oh man, I love sleeping, because you're actually getting something out of it. You come out, you're more healed up, and and you just feel, oh. So she falls asleep faster and she sleeps more deeply, and then. By a week and a half into it, I noticed that her fucking skin looked really good. And you touch it and it's like moist and it's starting to get real velvety. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. You know what I mean? Because
you said something about
high estrogen women, they just feel really soft and
I think
moist.
I mean, you were real drunk.
Yeah.
But you said last week that you liked the way I smell.
Yeah, it smells better.
Yeah.
She has kind of a more female. There's no way to explain it. More of a pheromone.
Because he was going way into that.
Yeah, it was like more of like a female.
He was real drunk, so he might not remember.
Yeah.
Like I was drunk too, but I wasn't so drunk that I don't remember.
It's more of like that female pheromone, sexual kind of smell.
Well, because we went to Memento Mori last week, and we couldn't get our regular spot, so it was like we were over there by the stripper pole. So Tom took advantage. So he's over there on the pole, and like, and we were kind of fucking around, like, he's on the pole, and I'm just kind of like dancing down there, like, Well, it's like everyone thought that was like super funny, but you know.
Yeah. No, but Jen's looking really fucking good. You know, she's feeling good.
I didn't shave my legs though.
Yeah. No, it doesn't matter though. The only thing Jen has to do is fucking lose a few more pounds of fat. And, we're both losing it. We're on the stuff to do it. And in our 50s, man, when you compare us to other people of our age, we're already way ahead. We've been way ahead. But we're, me and Jen are in show business whether we're fucking streaming or not, because we go to the clubs. That's show business, too. We got a new fucking club.
You don't want to go out if you look, because I thought it was funny that John Newland says earlier, goth folks are some vain-ass people.
Oh,
I mean, in a lot of ways... Yeah, but that's what kind of keeps us like this. It's willpower and that's why, like, you see a lot of people that come out to the club still that are our age, that are like 50s and sometimes older. Like, there's some in their 60s, but they still look really good. A lot of them
look really good.
And that's kind of the incentive. It's like, look, I'm going out every week. Yeah. Everyone's going to see me. Yeah. So it's like, so I have to at least look presentable. Yeah. You know,
and the ones that don't look presentable are all long gone.
They don't come out.
They don't come out anymore. They still post. We still talk to them on Facebook. They don't come out. One of them was, I was like, why don't you come out anymore? And she was like, I gained a lot of weight. I said, was it come out anyway? No, the photos you're seeing of me are fucking enhanced. I don't look like that.
Yeah. Well, I think that happens a lot.
Man, you got a lot of friends. You need to come out anyway. That's our little Indian princess. You know what I'm talking about?
I mean, we still love you. It's just kind of like, I get it, though.
They're embarrassed at how they look.
Like, if I, gained a fuck ton of weight, I probably wouldn't go out anymore either. Yeah. But it's just kind of like, but another thing, too, is that, one, I don't post a lot of pictures of myself online. There's a lot of pictures of me on there, but they're from a long time ago. I'll do a picture if I'm posting a video. Like I said, I posted that video of my review of Sleepless today, and that picture I took today, and I didn't do anything to that. That was just a regular ass picture, so that's just what I look like. I had a different wig on.
Yeah, and that's another thing, is that Jen is growing her hair out. Yeah. Too. So she's trying to grow a hair out that's going to be like this.
I want it to be like this ultimately. This is a wig also.
Yeah. But it's getting to almost be like that.
But this is what I'm shooting
maybe
for.
6 months. Maybe 6 months.
In a few months, it will look like this.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Because I forgot about this wig. And I was just kind of like, oh, there's just a plain black one.
Jen's actually a ginger.
I'm a redhead.
And it's changed, though. It's more kind of like a light brown now, right?
Or it's probably gray.
Probably grayish.
Honestly,
it looks like a light brown.
That's probably gray.
I haven't seen your natural.
I haven't seen my natural hair color.
Yeah,
I don't remember how long because I've just been dyeing it black for like so long.
I think it's grayish brown, light brown, mousy brown kind of looking. I think, but it's hard to say. But fucking when we were watching Farscape, I was looking at that fucking chick's Erin's fucking hair, how beautiful her black hair was. But turned out that was a wig too.
Yeah, I thought it was.
But it looked like a wig. I was like, man, Jen's hair is gonna look like that because that was kind of the hair that she's growing.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Like I said, I want it all like Morticia. I want it all like one
parted in the middle,
in the middle, all one length.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to do, and it's kind of hard to do because for a long time, if you didn't know,
she had bangs.
Like I had bangs, and the underside of my hair was completely shaved off. I just had hair on the top that was long, and then all of this was shaved.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like grow it out. Which I've done a couple times in the past. But it takes a long time. So at this point, it's like my regular hair is probably about this long, maybe a little shorter. The shaved part is about this long, like to my nape of my neck. And the bangs are about here. So it's like 3 different lengths. So I'm trying to get them all the same length. Yeah. So that's why I wear wigs all the time. It's just because...
her hair's in between.
It's kind of in between. Like, it doesn't look terrible, but I don't love it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I can't really get it to look like anything.
I think you've pretty much been wearing wigs since we've been doing the visual show, though. Haven't we?
Well,
mostly the past couple years, right?
Just for the past couple years. Because, like, for a few years, because I remember, like, looking back at some book reviews and movie reviews that I did, like, a couple years ago. Like, I just had my regular-ass hair. But like I said, a lot of that was... when I still had it shaved, so it was kind of like...
her hair naturally is actually really thick.
It is.
She got
it's
a shit ton of hair.
ridiculous. I have so much hair.
And if it's cut and styled right, like in that cut, it's gonna look great.
I have so much hair.
Yeah.
Like I have so much fucking hair.
Yeah.
Even when it's that's why for a lot of my life, starting in high school, I shaved a lot of it off underneath because it was just too much. Yeah. It was too thick.
Too bushy.
It would fall out.
Yeah.
I'd brush it and there'd be like huge fucking, and I couldn't deal with it. It was just too much. There was just hair everywhere, and it was just kind of like I couldn't take it. So it's like, and it's very heavy. It's very hot. So I usually, starting in high school, I think in high school, I shaved one side of it off. Like, so it was long on this side, and then it was like shaved off on one side. And then, like, a little bit, like, a couple years after that, like, when I was in college, I just shaved all of it off underneath and just left a little bit. So I said, well, if I have to go to a job interview, I can just put it down so it looks kind of normal.
But for what we do for a living and our lifestyle and shit, we have to have a stagey appearance. We have to look like something. Fucking... When my hair started to go bad, I don't even know how much hair I have nowadays. As soon as my hair became questionable, I shaved that shit off.
Yeah, I mean...
because I was just like, man, that hair that I have, man, it's getting a little fucking thin right here. And I was just like, it's better not to have any hair than to have fucking kind of like questionable hair.
Well, you need something...
because I had really good hair quality when I was younger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was just like, you know what? So I'm just going to go fucking bald. But to look good bald, you got to be jacked. But I needed to be in good shape anyway. I was watching my dad die and shit for the hair, so I was like, that's it. I know I'm going to go straight fucking warrior. I'm going to look like that damn Klingon general, the bald Klingon with the fucking eye patch. What was that, Star Trek 4 or 5 or something? I'm going to go that way with the fucking facial hair and shit like that.
The thing about it is that it's not necessarily vanity. It's that you have to look...
they look presentable.
Intentional.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, it has to look like you did it on purpose.
Yeah, you gotta have style.
It doesn't have, you can't look like it's like, well, this is just the way it looks, and it's like, deal with it.
Me and Jen are not the fucking cargo pants croc wearing.
Because that's just, that's what's comfortable. And it's like, but the thing about it is that, like, I like comfortable clothes too, but they don't usually look good. Sorry to say.
These are my comfortable boots. I wear these big ass New Rocks. All right. Let me see.
He wears those every day.
What's that?
You wear those every day, pretty much.
Yeah. I got 3 pair of New Rocks. This is my daily fucking New Rock. And then I got my motorcycle New Rocks, which are almost knee length. And then I got shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is you only have to buy them once. These things
they're
forever.
expensive, but
they're like $350.
They last long.
They last forever. They're handmade Spanish.
It's real leather.
Handmade Spanish, real leather.
Bees nuts that I used to hate, guys. Did
Who?
you really? Bees nuts.
Who said bees nuts? I smack that bitch in the face. He just says whatever he wants.
And John Newland said, I can tell that you feel better, Tom, from your older videos.
Yeah, I was feeling bad.
There's
man.
a glow to your... Yeah, you were, like, back in the day.
Feeling really fucking
Back
bad. I feel... I fucking said it before. I said it 1,000,000 times to you bitches that have been watching me. If you're a man over the age of 35, start considering fucking boosting your testosterone.
It made a huge difference because, like I said...
Knowing what I know now, I would have gone on about 35, 38. I'd have been on that shit.
Like, before I even met you, you would have
done
it. Because I think you were... Well, I was 38.
You met me at about... I was probably about 30.
You were probably... Well, I think you were early 40s.
Maybe.
I was 38.
Yeah. I must have been 41. I was probably about 41.
Yeah, you're 2 or 3
Probably
years
about 41.
older than
I still looked young.
You did.
Nobody knew I was 41. I had full head of hair and fucking gothed out and shit. And some of the pictures I showed earlier with me and Nancy, and I was about 41 then.
Yeah, you're 41.
Yeah, and those girls were probably about 30. Well,
Sonia's
the same age as me. Yeah,
age.
Nancy was probably a good
She's younger
7, 8 years younger. Right. But what was I talking about? Shit, I forgot.
Talking about how you look better now.
I look better now?
Than you
Yeah. Knowing what I know now, I probably would have gone on test at about 35, 36, maybe 38, around that time.
Yeah. I mean, it made a huge difference in, your whole life, really. Like, your whole attitude, your whole personality.
It makes you very positive.
Yeah. Sex drive. Like, it's everything. Like, it made a huge fucking difference.
Right.
A huge fucking difference.
Yeah, you become more like a teenager. But in a good way.
Yeah, like
you're not dumb.
I was gonna say not in a dumb shit.
You're intelligent, but you have the energy of a teenager.
Yeah.
And I heard somebody fucking making snide comments a couple of weeks back, and a couple of months back, and I am visible. What is this motherfucker on cocaine? No, it's test. You're just seeing an older guy who has energy. You know
Do y'all know where we can get some good cocaine?
Yeah, we like cocaine, but fucking no.
Because I could deal with some of that.
It makes you a lot more fucking energetic and spry.
I've only had shitty cocaine.
Yeah.
So
it's not normal for dudes to start aging at 40, 50, 60. That's not actually normal. I mean, you look at a damn alligator, they can live way over 100 and they're just as active as they were when they were little babies. And you do a blood test on them, and them bitches are packed with fucking hormones. Okay? It's just that during the evolutionary process and the way humans kind of evolved, longevity wasn't selected for. Nature only cared about how many kids you had before you died.
Yeah, just reproduce.
It didn't really matter when you died. It didn't really, that part didn't matter. I was listening to one fucking scientist / doctor. They were talking about longevity, and one guy says, well, we're looking at the telomeres, and theoretically we should live to be about 150. And you really shouldn't theoretically have any sickness, or, you know what I mean, you shouldn't really have much of a decline until maybe your very final years.
Well, I don't have sickness, but,
it's just that
maybe that's just me.
People are dying early because of environmental factors, and they're not fucking bolstering stuff. You know what I mean? If your fucking teeth fall out, you put in false teeth, and you'll be able to eat. If your hormones fall out, put some fucking synthetic hormones in there, and you'll maintain. Yeah. Jack LaLanne lived to 97,
and all out there.
Jack LaLanne lived to 97, and what he's doing is like half-assed compared to what I'm doing. He did take some gear, but they didn't really have the knowledge or the technology back then. They didn't have hormone replacement. He just injected test every now and then and took a bunch of Anavar pills. He lived to 97. But he never got really big. He's not the same as a guy who's fucking blasting and gets huge at fucking 19. he's not gonna be able to maintain that at 50. They're gonna have to be coming off. That's why The Rock and a lot of these other guys, they're kind of like in a way time bombs.
It's not great. Don't do that when you're younger. You don't need it.
They got very big when they were young, and they did that for a long time.
Do it when you're older.
You do it when you're older, right?
If you do it when you're younger, when you get to 50, your heart's gonna be like, nope.
You're burning a lot of fuel out of the tank.
Yeah, but once you're older, it's like it's like, hey man, I only have like 20, 30 years left.
Yeah,
anyway,
let's just
so
fucking the last of it. We're gonna blast it out.
But don't start it. Like, you don't need it when you're younger.
When you're younger, you
shouldn't.
Shouldn't really need it.
I mean, you know, some people might, but
you don't want to be blasting anything until after 35. 35. Right out of time. And you really shouldn't be blasting anything. Just kind of keep it sane.
Yeah, chill the fuck out. You can go crazy when you're older.
Yeah, when you're older, you got
when you don't have anything to lose.
And so you can. And the
it's
thing
a lot
is,
better that way.
Yeah, and you haven't had all that extra muscle on your body for fucking 30 years. It's, you know what I mean? Like fucking The Rock and those guys got big in their fucking late teens. And by the time they're 50, man, they've had all that fucking like weight on them for 30 fucking years, and then they're on gear, and your heart valves can only take so much, because if you're 150 pounds of pure muscle, that's harder than being 400 pounds of fat. That's harder than being 300 pounds of fat.
Yeah, because muscle's denser.
Muscle's a lot harder, denser than fat.
For blood to get.
For the blood demands. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of the same thing with, like, drinking. Like, I didn't really drink at all until I was in my 30s. Like, I didn't really drink much as a teenager. Like, every now and then I have one. So it's not like a thing where... So it's kind of the same thing, where it's like if you start drinking when you're a kid,
by the time you're 50,
by the time you're 50, like your liver, it's like you need a liver transplant. You know what I mean?
But
I didn't really start drinking until I was probably in my late 30s, honestly.
Yeah, you got a lot less lifespan to lose.
Yeah, so because I didn't really get as much of a shit.
We're not natural. We're bolstering our hormones with synthetic hormones to fucking help us fight all this shit. We both feel great. We would dance all fucking night. Now it might take us all the next day to recover from that shit.
Oh yeah, we'll sleep until noon the next day, and then all the next afternoon I'll be like, man, I don't know,
just lay around.
I just want to lay around and not do anything. But honestly, I work all week, so my weekends are. I just want to bum out. Because I never get to do that. So you know, I don't really have a problem with it. But Full Metal Nosferatu also says I'll be 51 in 5 days.
Yeah.
And y'all look younger than me. Yeah. I'm in good shape and health, but my facial hair is gray/white, and I could look to lose another 20 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, I dye my beard.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that... Because I'm sure probably my hair is probably gray at this point. My mom was gray by my age.
We haven't really seen our natural hair.
I have not seen my natural hair color in a very long time. Yeah. I usually just Revlon that shit.
Yeah.
As soon as like the gray, roots start to show, I'm just kind of like, shoot.
Well, Nosferatu, man, he's coming up on 50. Well,
51.
51. Well, if you're not on testosterone, at least 200 milligrams of that shit a fucking week, then you're fucked up. You must be on test. If you hit 40 and you're not on test, you're fucking up. So get testosterone. If you don't know how to take it, you can hit me up private. I'll fucking tell you where to get it. If you want the quick and easy solution, you can go to a local testosterone clinic. Get tested, HCG, or test and fucking Clomid to keep your fertility going. If you care about shooting live rounds or not. Because it's going to be like going on birth control.
Yeah.
Okay?
Weirdly, like, you still want to shoot live rounds.
Yeah, I want to shoot live rounds.
Even though I can't get pregnant.
No, I like shit fucking going out.
You like to have the possibility.
Yeah, of course.
Even though I can't get
right. And then once you get used to test and lifting and what that feels like in the recovery and what you feel, what's normal, because one good thing about going to a testosterone clinic is that you can be pretty sure that they're giving you good quality testosterone. Yeah. So you know what good stuff feels like. So once you go to a fucking gray market stuff, you'll know the difference. Even though the shit that's out there on the gray market is fucking awesome. Because it's over the counter in other countries. It's
Yeah, I
just that
mean,
they're
there's
giving it
ways to
you.
get all that stuff.
They're just giving you over the counter stuff that comes from somewhere else.
It's not technically illegal.
Yeah. They're trying to make it a little easier to get hold of it. Then once you do that, if you want more, instead of raising the level of testosterone, because there's side effects that can happen with testosterone, you can put anabolic steroids on top of it, which is testosterone without a lot of the side effects of testosterone. You can give that to a woman with not a lot of side effects, and you'll recover faster and start rebuilding muscle and lost stuff and get lean out some. But don't do it, freewheel it. You gotta fucking talk to people. Fucking grok. If you ask Grok the right things you know to ask it will give you great information on how to do it. And at 50, you should be blossoming. You don't have much time now. You got to get your shit done within 5 years. And you got to do it safely. You can't blast so much of it that it kills you. You just got to take the right amount. And at 50, man, you could look like me in about 18 months, 20 months, maybe 24 months, maybe. You won't look exactly like me, but you know what I'm talking about. You can get it done in a couple of years. And you can't do that naturally, not at your age. It would take you 8 years. It would take you 15 years to look like me at your age. And you don't have 15 years. You'd be an old man by then. Each year, your ability to produce testosterone goes down and down and down. You'll never keep up, you know. A young man could do it, but not an old man.
Well, our kind of goal has always been, we know we don't look young.
You're right. We just want to look good
for
our age.
We're not young. We just want to look good for our age. Mm-hmm. That's all. We know we're old.
Yeah.
We're not trying to...
You'll never.
I'm not trying to look like a fucking 20-year-old.
No,
I know I don't look like a 20-year-old.
You'll never look young.
No.
But you can be a fucking awesome fucking 50, a hot 50-year-old.
You just want to look as good for your age group, so people are like surprised when they're like, "Holy crap! I didn't know you were." That.
You want younger people to look at you and they're not revolted. They're like, "Wow, you look awesome."
Yeah,
that's
the only goal, honestly.
Right. Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not trying to look like a young person because I'm not young.
Yeah.
General had said about low T.
Yeah.
I think it contributed to my marriage falling apart.
Oh yeah.
It takes away your ambition.
Yeah, your ambition, your self respect.
Yeah.
Your sex drive.
Yeah, the thing that you had. I mean, you always had an okay sex drive. Like we always had sex a lot, even before that. I mean, we have a lot more sex now.
Yeah.
But
not compared to my teens or 20s.
Well, yeah, I know that. But one thing that I noticed that's different is that before you went on it, you were kind of like, man, I'm an old man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die soon. You were just very, very negative.
You don't have any. You're like,
and you're not really like that anymore.
You don't have any gumption.
You don't really like that anymore.
Your mojo's gone. Your Austin Powers mojo is just not there. You just like, fucking, I'm tired of this shit.
And that was like a big difference.
I'm a has-been. That's the way. That's the thinking. Then I started fighting. At first, started working out. I got a little bit better, but I just never could recover. So I said, I'm going to do that testosterone that they're talking about. So I did that, and fucking like 2 days later, I took the injection. They gave me an injection, and I was like, I feel a little bit better. 2 days later, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about it. 2 weeks later, I was like, oh yeah, this is what it was. I forgot what this felt like. You just become kind of like a junkie on it. But it's good because it's building you back up. It's basically what Fu Manchu was calling the elixir vitae. Remember him? He was trying to get the fucking all these ancient giant pearls and fucking diamonds and shit to make his fucking elixir vitae to make him young again. Testosterone does that. It does it to women too, a bit. Not quite the same thing, but
it's not quite the same.
Yeah, because women did not go through male puberty, so they weren't androgenized the same way. Women mostly respond to progesterone and fucking testosterone. Progesterone and estrogen. But testosterone does build muscle and cut fat off of women.
Yeah, because I've been on a little bit of it for a long time.
Yeah. No, but yeah, low T guy, you don't want to be married to that.
Yeah, it's not. I never really thought about leaving or anything like that, but it does like kind of bum you out.
You become negative and kind of like, oh,
you know, because you're just kind of like, yeah. I mean, it's much better now because now he's just kind of like, holy shit, I can't even like fucking walk across the room. I walk across the room like we're watching TV or something in the bedroom at night, and I get up to like go to the bathroom or whatever, and he's like, look at that ass, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, it's much nicer, much nicer. Because like I said, as long as I can remember, I don't know what this is about, but I've always had super, super high sex drive. Matter of fact, before he went on test, when we were first going out, and we would go out to the clubs and stuff like that, and we would kind of make jokes about, he would make jokes about, I'm going to have to hire a dude because I can't keep up with her. That's what, like, he used to say. Which I don't know. I didn't really feel one way or the other about it. It's like a little bit of a bummer and stuff. But like ever since he went on that, it's like way, way better. Way better. He's just like his whole attitude changed. And it was like almost, not exactly overnight, but it was almost overnight. Like it was a huge, huge difference. Like just in the way he looked at the world and everything. Like everything about it was different. Mama said I look older than you both. It's not the years, it's the mileage. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I don't know. I think, like I said, I think a lot of the one, I'm gonna say I have good genetics. Like all of my female relatives, my mom, all her aunts, all her sisters rather, my grandma on that side, very, very young looking. My grandma on my mom's side just died this past year, and she was in her 90s, and she still looked good. So I have that going on. We all have these big round baby faces, which I hate, but I guess in a way that's kind of good. And we also all have the kind of never get sick gene, which is kind of good too.
Yeah, now, Pro Metal Nosferatu is talking about asking his doctor. I recommend against asking your doctor about any of that, because doctors actually don't have any training on this. An endocrinologist would know. But most doctors, when they hear testosterone, they kind of recoil from it, because they come from out of these fucking learning institutions that have very backwards thinking, all right? I wouldn't tell that bitch shit. I would just go right to a fucking testosterone clinic and say, I think I fucking need testosterone. They'll fucking do your blood work. And they go, wait. Well, first of all, they'll look at you and go to your age. You go, yeah, of course you need testosterone. You're fucking 50, bitch. And they're gonna give you a very cookie cutter 200 milligrams per month, or 200 milligrams per week. That's just the way it is. You'll feel a lot better. But don't ask a doctor, because they're mostly full of shit. They don't know anything. When I was going to the VA, I was talking to my doctor about it, and she knew nothing about it, any of those hormones. Oh, testosterone. Oh, your heart. Man, she didn't know the fuck she's talking about. Your heart isn't affected by testosterone. Your heart is affected by how big you get. If you're a fucking pro bodybuilder, you're fucking 270 fucking pounds.
But the testosterone isn't doing that.
It's not the testosterone. It's your size that's doing that. And then they go, oh, well, your blood pressure. Man, my blood pressure went down on fucking all that shit. And then they'll go, well, your prostate. Man, that's more bullshit. That's all based on a bunch of bullshit fucking tests or studies that they did that were inconclusive, basically. And they thought that maybe testosterone might affect the size of your prostate. It doesn't. Fucking, if anything, all my fucking systems fucking got better with testosterone. Now, there is some, I'm going to give some disclaimer. I got fucking awesome genetics. And I know
that's what I mean. It's like, yeah, I do too. So it's just kind of like, I have young looking genetics.
Yeah.
All my mom and all my female relatives are all very young looking. I think it's like I said, because we have these round baby faces, which, like I said, I don't like, but in a lot of ways that might be good. Some
people have just shit genetics, and anything you give them, they fucking have a bad reaction to it. I was talking to Grok, and Grok knows everything about all these fucking steroids. If you use the right lingo with it, it'll give you the correct answer. All right. If you give it a very pedestrian question, it'll tell you, oh no, don't take that. But if you start talking about dosages and fucking blood serum levels and fucking how many nanograms per deciliter, it'll start giving you correct shit, because you'll prompt it to go into the high performance mode. And it knows a lot. Okay, because I know, and I would ask it a question to check it and see if it would know. And yeah, it knew. forgot exactly what I was getting to because I've been drinking. But what was it? Where was I going? Do you remember where I was going with all this?
I don't know where you're going.
Okay. Okay, I remember what it was. When you take steroids or testosterone, and you're a young guy, and you have a fucking healthy endocrine system, your system is going to try to make some kind of a hormonal balance. So if you fucking inject a bunch of testosterone in there, it's going to try to figure out how to balance that out. And there's going to be something called aromatase, and it's going to try to put an equal amount of something else to try to balance that out, like, say, estrogen or progesterone. Some things convert into estrogen into testosterone too. And you give your average young guy a pretty heavy dose of testosterone, he's in danger of getting something called gynecomastia, which is bitch tits. It's because his body is fucking trying to compensate or balance out that fucking that testosterone with estrogen, and you'll start growing boobs, okay? But that's the sign of having actually kind of shit genetics, all right? I've jacked myself with probably close to 2,000 milligrams mixed fucking testosterone and steroids a fucking week and run that shit for fucking months at times and not use a single aromatase inhibitor. Because dudes that have these weird side effects like too much estrogen and shit in their body, they're going to have to take some kind of a drug called an inhibitor, an aromatase inhibitor, to keep that estrogen and shit in check.
To keep that from happening. Yeah.
Right, to keep it from happening. You can do anything as long as you know what to do. You can take another fucking hormone to counteract it.
Yeah.
But I've just jammed myself with all kinds of shit and had no aromatization. In other words, I wasn't starting making a whole... And I've had a lot of fucking times where I'm taking Tren and I have a shit ton of progesterone in my system. And
that was the only time that I noticed...
It didn't change
you were acting.
It didn't change my body. It just made me fucking crazy.
It just made you that was just like a mental.
To another dude, that might fucking give you bitch tits. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, you never got bitch tits.
But I've told Grok the shit that I've done and had no side effects like that, and Grok says, "Well, then that means you have damn near elite genetics because the average person has to take aromatase inhibitors."
Yeah.
So.
Like I said, everything that you take, there's another thing that will counteract.
To counteract it.
Because a lot of people do have side effects.
Right.
That kind of stuff. I don't know about that because I don't ever have...
The real basic HRT shit, you shouldn't need like 200 milligrams of test and some...
You shouldn't need
any aromatase inhibitors.
Some people might, but I mean, probably most.
But when you're doing like
don't.
High performance levels where you're trying to basically have another puberty and get bigger, like I've had like 3 or 4 male puberties. All right, I'm fucking superhuman. The shit that I've done is outside normal male and human boundaries. You know what I mean? The fucking a normal male who is an alpha type top quality male might have a fucking 1,200 nanograms per deciliter of fucking testosterone in his veins, and that's like he's a phenom. That's a phenomenal motherfucker. Top 1%. Man, I've had times where I've had 22,500 nanograms per deciliter. 3,000. So maybe like 3 times what a fucking alpha dude has had in his system. I've had that in my system for months. You know, so that's never going to happen with a normal person. So and I wasn't taking any aromatase inhibitors because I didn't have any symptoms. You only take them if you have certain symptoms, and I never got any symptoms. Now, it could be that my system, because I'm older and have decent genetics, my system wasn't strong enough to even attempt fighting that. So I just injected all that and went, okay, and didn't try to combat it or balance it out. It just says, okay, that's what we're going to do. I can't fight that. We're just going to do that. And a younger person, their system may have tried to fight it. You know? Yeah. That's the deal.
My system doesn't react to much of anything.
Yeah. Now, a lot of these elite Olympia-style fucking bodybuilders, the dudes weigh 350 pounds and shit. They got fucking ginormous motherfuckers, you know what I mean? A lot of them I've heard don't take much aromatase inhibitors just because they just have this certain kind of genetics that could just tolerate a lot of fucking steroids. The average person couldn't do that.
But yeah,
that's why they're not in Olympia.
You have to take genetics into account.
Yeah.
Because like I said, a lot of drugs, a lot of shit that he shot me up with over the years, a lot of it does nothing.
That's why a lot of dudes that take gear kind of laugh at civilians. Civilians will see these fucking giant bodybuilders that are standing up on stage. He goes, well, that's just steroids. I could do that. No, you couldn't. No, you couldn't.
No, that guy can do that.
That dude could do that because you couldn't take that much steroids and you couldn't lift that much weights. If you took that much steroids, you'd fucking have fucking boobs bigger than a fucking.
It doesn't work
bigger than Jim's. It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work. Like I said, I've taken a lot of different shit over the years. Most of it does absolutely fuck all.
Yeah. There are some dudes that if you give them just steroids and testosterone, even just like a normal, they just get sick. They don't even get
most
bigger.
Of it, most of it, sick, so.
I
might as well not have taken anything. Like it didn't
really change her
make
that much.
Me feel any different. It didn't make me look any different. Like it's very, very. It's kind of frustrating in a way. Yeah. Like I said, I've always been like a non-responder. I don't get sick, hardly ever, which is good. But I also don't respond to any drugs.
Yeah.
Hardly at all.
Jen responded well to nandrolone.
That was really the only thing.
Yeah.
But all the other shit that he gave me before that, didn't do anything.
Anavar didn't do anything.
Didn't do anything.
Anavar just deepened her voice. That was it.
That was the only thing that happened.
Yeah. Winstrol just deepened her voice, so that didn't work either. Testosterone made her feel a little bit better. Made her a little bit more aggressive, more sexual. But I didn't give her that much of it either.
Not really. And it was like not a huge.
And then the only thing that she fucking responded to well was fucking a nandrolone ester called decadurabolin, which was made for women originally. So women can take it. You just have to know what you do. It was actually something to fight breast cancer and wasting diseases like osteoporosis. But fucking, it's like testosterone, but it doesn't have the same masculizing effects. So you give her enough of that. She responded to that. Fucking lifting, working out. She fucking got great legs on it. Yeah.
The Tasteful Thickness says, Pete Rubish has a great classic video on what trend does to you.
Oh, yeah.
He says you can't date on it.
No.
Yeah, I would not.
No, you're fucking crazy on it. You're basically the Goblin.
We went through a whole thing.
Yeah.
Where he was on it. I didn't know he was on it. Well, I knew he was on it, but I didn't know
what it was.
I didn't know what was going on until afterward.
Yeah. It was in a stack. It was in a pre-made stack. It had testosterone, nandrolone, and fucking tren.
It was an experience.
All in the same thing. It was because that's all that my dealer had. I was using the dealers at that time.
Yeah.
And I was like, tren. I don't really want tren. Oh, no, it's great. You'll love it.
He did love it.
Yeah, I loved it. I wanted more of that.
Nobody
shit.
else loved it.
Crazy, yeah.
But he loved it.
Makes you like a gay serial killer. It's fucking. There's this weird.
Pretty much.
Shit. Yeah.
Pretty much.
You see dudes and you fucking hate them. Yeah, especially if they're weak. You fucking hate them, and you want to fight them. You want to get them away, and you hate them so bad you fucking want to fucking kill them, and then like maybe have sex with them or eat them. It's just fucking weird, and you don't think that that's crazy to think that at the time.
Yeah,
it's because it's not a drug; it's a hormone.
Talking to him in that time period was interesting,
and you get real simpy towards women and real aggressive towards men.
But he would say like crazy shit.
Yeah,
and I'd be like, that's crazy, right? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, it'd be like that. And I'd just be like...
And I was on it for like 4 months.
5 months.
5 months, yeah. 5 months.
Like, okay.
Only the last 2 months was like... The first 3 months, it wasn't really a big deal. There was the last 2 months. You just descend into fucking darkness and insanity. And, no. People talk about roid rage and shit. I never really had that. What I did... When they say roid rage, I think what they must be talking about is tread.
They're probably talking about that.
Because none of the other ones are like that at all.
No.
They're very mild.
But that
one is fucked up.
Yeah. Not everybody reacts the same, but a lot of people react that way to it.
And trend's been around since the 50s, 60s. It's old.
It seriously makes you like a crazy person.
Yeah, and it's not approved for human use.
Like a sociopathic serial killer type mindset.
Yeah.
Is what it
and it's not approved.
But you think that
it's normal.
Normal.
You think it's normal. Yeah.
And like when people call you out on it, you're like, what are you talking about? They don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you get so fucking irritated and so mad at dudes that you want to attack them, rape and kill them, and eat them. And you don't think that's crazy.
Yeah.
You don't actually do it, but that's what you're envisioning in your mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I attacked dudes on it, though.
You did?
Yeah, fighting them and shit. And you win. You're just not, they say that fucking dudes in MMA are on it. They time it just right.
I believe it.
So they have their event when they're
so
fucking
right
in the
there,
throes of fucking being crazy as a motherfucker. Because pain is kind of like eroticized when you're on trend. You get hurt and you love it. You hurt somebody else and you love it. You become sadomasochistic. And there's absolutely, not only is there no fear, there's no decision to attack. You just attack.
Yeah.
You're not making any decisions. Fucking trans making all the decisions. And you're fucking perverted. You're very twisted.
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
It's bizarre. It's not, and it was not. They made it for humans, but after trials, they pulled it. The company that made it pulled it. Yeah, and they kind of like the company that made it. This is back in the '60s. Deemed it unsuitable for human use.
I would agree with that assessment.
And it was because of that. So they ended up. It's the thing is that it's very cheap and easy to make in mass. So they started to sell it to the cattle industry. And it became a steroid that you use to fucking get cattle big. And to you used to give them that before you send them to slaughter. So when they're in the train, they don't lose a bunch of weight. But other than the mental things, it's a perfect steroid. You don't bloat. It's very dry. You don't feel any soreness. You could work yourself out to the bone, and 15 minutes later, you don't. It's like it never happened. You could go do it again. It's very good at that. But the thing is that I didn't get any bigger on that than I would any of the other ones. Those horrible side effects somehow became legendary in the gym culture and the bodybuilding culture as if because it has bad side effects that it's powerful, that it must be powerful.
It's not, though.
It's not. It's about the same. About the same as Nandrolone. It is a Nandrolone.
I mean, you can take other shit that won't do that. The only
difference is that Tren is cheaper. Milligram per milligram. But it's one of the nandrolone esters. It's nandrolone decanate, which is deca, nandrolone phenylpropionate, which is NPP, and then fucking Tren is nandrolone something or other, trenbolone or something. I don't remember the exact name for it, but trenbolone is just one of the nandrolone esters. You would think on paper that it would be the same as the other ones, but for some reason that one's got really bad fucking mental side effects that are very enjoyable.
For the person
that's taking it, you love it.
Not so much.
You're on it. You're like you're a psycho, and you're a werewolf, and you're fucking loving it. You know what I mean? But everybody else hates you. It's fucking weird.
Like, what the fuck? You're turning into a super
villain. Yeah.
And that's not a fun super villain.
No, it's just kind of like you're like the Goblin out of fucking Spider-Man, or fucking Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
And even though a lot of the shit was most of the shit was not directed at me.
No, other people.
But because of the way you were acting, I was just kind of like, man, I'm going to feel the fallout of this at some point or another.
She didn't quite know exactly
So it's like, I didn't really know what was going on. So I was like, I got to get the fuck out of here because I'm going to get killed.
Yeah.
Like, I literally thought I was going to get murdered.
No. I realized I was crazy because fucking Soph said I was crazy. She says, you need to come off that. You're fucking crazy. I says, I'm not crazy. And then I started thinking about it, and then she started bringing back the shit that I said, and I was going, yeah, I guess I am crazy.
You said all kind of crazy
shit.
Yeah,
I guess I am crazy.
I remember you standing right there and saying some crazy shit, and I'm just looking at you going...
Yeah, and it feels good to be crazy. You're just crazy as shit.
I didn't even know what to say. I'm just kind of like...
After
do you hear yourself? Or?
I saw a video of a cop fucking dash cam. He pulls a dude over for just like a broken fucking blinker. And as soon as that car stops, a fucking big ass bodybuilder jumps out and he's got a hatchet and runs straight to that cop. Didn't say anything, just ran.
A little bit of an overreaction.
And that fucking cop fucking just filled him full of lead in the final seconds. You know, the cop was screaming.
They probably wouldn't even have given you a ticket.
No, and the first thing that came to mind, I went, tread.
Probably.
Yeah, tread. And
every time I see
Jack.
shit like that now, I'm just like, that's probably
because it was absolutely
because that was how you were acting.
Yeah,
like you
become
wanted to
a kamikaze.
You wanted to go do crazy shit. And I was just like, let's not do that.
Well, you get you're ultra fucking confident on one hand, but on the other hand, you're very fucking insecure. You think everybody's talking about you. I swore that everybody was talking about me. So I think what he was doing is he's driving in the car and he goes, these motherfuckers keep fucking with me. They're all fucking talking about me. I got this axe right here.
Yeah, it's like a weird...
These motherfuckers are talking about me. You looking at me? That kind of shit.
It's a weird, like, narcissistic...
It's like a narcissistic...
Or actually, like, solipsistic.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they think they're the only...
So he's driving around like that, a cop pulls him up and he's I told you they're after me. Yeah, I fucking... That fucking... Yeah, that's...
See there.
I immediately knew it was going through that dude's mind. And I was like, dude, no, you're tripping.
Yeah.
Fucking, and he was just
scary.
Big fucking white dude, man. Fucking, he was jacked. And as soon as I saw that jack do that axe, a hatchet, come out of that thing and charge that cop for totally unprovoked, I was just like, tread.
Yeah.
Tread.
Because I could see, once you told me about it later, I was like, man, I could totally see you doing that same shit.
Thinking that they're after me.
That everyone's after
they're talking
because
about me.
That was another thing. They get like super paranoid.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's a weird.
Yeah.
Like you're super insecure, but you also think, well, I guess like the insecurity is part of that, where you think that like the whole fucking world is out to get you.
Yeah. And you can,
which is kind of narcissism,
and that you can beat them. Your confidence levels through the roof. Like, oh, I can defeat the entire planet.
So it's like the worst of both worlds. You're so insecure that you think everybody's out to get you.
Right.
And you also have this like weird super overconfidence where you think you could just kill everybody and like I can beat up a semi truck, I can do this, that, and the other. And not a great combo.
No.
Honestly.
No. Well, that's why they pulled it from the market.
Not a great combo.
They pulled that shit from the market.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people think that fucking steroids are some kind of an illicit drug that you make in the bathtub or something. It's not. That's just made in high-tech laboratories. And it was made for fucking to sell to doctors, and doctors still use steroids for healing and stuff. And that was how bodybuilders got a hold of it. It's based on testosterone, but you can take a lot more of it than testosterone. You can give it to women and you can give it to children. If they ever get hurt, you can heal them up faster. Well, if you heal up faster, then that means you can work out and you can fucking take it and heal up faster and fucking work out more times a week. You know what I mean? So you're growing. You're making more progress. That's all it is.
You want Pookie on the show? You want to be on the show, Pookie?
It's a magic sauce, but it's not that magic. It's just doing what testosterone does. And you can take more of it than you can testosterone because it's been kind of neutered out of its secondary sex characteristics. You know what I mean? It's kind of its androgenicity is its anabolic levels are high and its androgenic activity levels kind of lower, so you can take more of it. It's got a much higher OD point versus testosterone. But they're never standalones. You got to take them both together. You always have to take testosterone.
I mean, it's a whole thing.
Always.
It's a whole thing. But, you know, like I said.
Because they're not bioidentical. Let me give you some of this.
All right.
Yeah.
I got to pee, though.
Yeah. All right. When you come back, we're going to finish this up, and then we're going to get a sandwich. We're going to get a sandwich after that. Because that's all the grapefruit juice I got.
Yeah, we were on the
last
one.
Yeah.
What's up, Paul? Where are we going?
All right. See you in a minute.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Tasteful thickness says roids fight muscle wasting syndrome. You throw people on gear, they'll grow. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of shit that people don't realize why guys are fucking living damn near forever when they got AIDS is because they put them on Nandrolone, they put them on steroids. Steroids, one of the things that steroids can do is they can fight wasting diseases, and HIV is a wasting disease. So, Anthony Fauci and the AZT fucking scam, that actually just killed all those dudes. fucking other doctors just thought the shit out, and they just used a bunch of drugs that were already available. Antivirals, which they gave them every antiviral in the book, and put them on nandrolone and testosterone too, and fucking keep you from dying from AIDS. And I know a lot of people are like, oh hell no, that could be no. AIDS was kind of like part of the cure for. Excuse me, steroids were part of the cure for AIDS. You can go to the restroom now. That's why all those leather daddies are so fucking big. They're gay, got HIV, and they're fucking on steroids, and they're getting jacked. Fucking, that's a lot of what that is.
Oh my goodness. All right, holy crap, what time is it? Man, it's almost 11 o'clock where we are. I feel like Tom's probably getting a little bit fuzzy. He might have to go down to like fucking Circle K. We went down to Circle K after the show on Wednesday night and bought a bunch of stuff. It's like the guy that works there, he's like this skinny dude with really long blonde hair. And he is so used to us coming in there drunk that it's like every time he sees us, he's just like, hey, it's the drunk motherfuckers. You know what I mean? It's like pretty hilarious. But he just like, he works there like all the fucking time. He works there all the fucking time. Let's see. Bowman on last Friday, the third time I had to step away for a few minutes, but I usually go to my chiropractor for advice, and he said the same thing. You said about MDs, how they don't know shit. Yeah, I mean, the thing about it, I'm not one of these anti-science or anti-doctor people, but I will say that it depends on the doctor that you go to, like what their specialty is. If they are just an MD, like if they're just like a general practitioner, yeah, I mean, obviously they're not going to have all the same fucking info. So you need to like go to a fucking specialist if you want to do that shit.
What are they talking about?
You know what I mean? And let me see. Papa said, hey, I have bitch tits.
Yeah. Oh, from the middle of Nosferatu, San Antonio. I had to go to the step away for a minute. You usually go to my chiropractor for advice. He said the same thing. You said that doctors don't know shit about shit. Yeah. Doctors come out of the modern doctor of today. Their entire profession is very much controlled by the drug industry. And I'm not talking out my ass. Fucking, I used to work for fucking Dr. Matt. He fucking runs a hospital here, and his mother fucking founded Orlando General Hospital. Okay, they're fucking multi-millionaires. Most of medicine is about making money, and you make money through the drug industry, and the drug industry makes money by selling patented medicine. All right, not medicine that's off patent. There's not a lot of. They will send some of that, but that's not really the profits at. And patent medicine, that's fucking American history, man. That's part of our culture. That's the fucking shyster on standing next to the wagon in the fucking 18th century. Drink my fucking cure-all, and it's fucking heroin. Or it's morphine, you know? Or it's liquid cocaine and shit with a snake head in the bottom of it. They're going to try to treat something, not so much cure it, but they're going to treat it with a new drug that's patented because they get higher commissions on it. They may have another drug that might cure it, but there's no patent. The patents have run out for that, and they won't make any money on that. They want a treatment, not a cure. Because if it's a treatment, you got to buy it regularly. And if it's fucking new and it's patented, it's going to be more expensive, and they're going to get the insurance companies to pay for it. All right, it's more of a scam than anything else. A lot of the shit that people are being fucking treated for, and they're making all this money. There are cures for it. You know, diabetes. One of the things about diabetes, depending on what kind of diabetes you have, one of the main cures of diabetes is lose some fucking weight.
Well, I mean, that's a cure for a lot of things.
Yeah, lose weight. That's
not a cure, but it's like.
But that pretty much
better.
Yeah, right.
For a lot
right. There's a lot of stuff that's just like that. You know, a lot of joint issues and shit that they'll fucking take test, do some nandrolone, freaking real good for your fucking joints. But the thing is, that shit's been off patent since the 70s. So they can't make a lot of money on it. So that's not what they're going to pump. They're drug dealers. That's what they are. They're glorified drug dealers. And fucking, they don't. Prostate. That's another thing. They make a shit ton of money off of fucking giving dudes fucking prostate massage. Okay? They'll
Dudes
go
might be
in
into that, though. Might
and
be a
they'll
kink.
fucking massage your prostate. Say, how's that feel? Oh, this and that. Says your prostate's
you're into it. Sure.
kind of a little bit enlarged. Come back next month. We're gonna do it again. And they're gonna sit there and they're gonna massage your prostate. All right. You know what? I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a sample. And then they fucking stick a needle in there and they get a prostate massage. And they go, yeah, guess what? You got prostate. Oh, you know what? That thing's a little bit bigger than it was before. Okay? So we're going to fucking, you come back next month and we're going to check it again. If you fucking do an actual search, they're going to make money off of fucking giving you prostate massages for fucking years. And then they're going to take samples out of there, which will make the fucking thing bigger and they'll rub on it some more. If you want a prostate massage, go down to the fucking rub and tug. Where you got these Chinese women, and they'll stick something up in your ass and rub your fucking prostate.
And give you a happy
Right.
ending.
Now, let's say they say, well, you know what? You got prostate cancer. So what we're going to do is we're not going to operate. We're just going to watch it for the next 3 or 4 years. So that's another thing. Is that fucking, if you do have prostate cancer, it's going to fall into mostly we're going to watch it. If the shit is aggressive, we're going to cut the shit out. And you're going to be fucking... you're probably going to die anyway. Or you're going to be fucking impotent. Alright? And then we'll give you some other medicine. But here's the thing. Had you not gone through all those prostate massages, you would have known your prostate was bad and they just would have cut it out anyway. So you didn't need all those fucking prostate massages. But they made a shit ton of money over fucking massaging your prostate and scaring you about it. If you want a prostate massage, get a big fucking plastic dildo and stick that shit up in your booty and fucking go around it like a circle like that and fucking... You got girls that'll want to get up in your fucking prostate. Do that. Don't pay some dude to fucking stick his finger up there and touch your fucking prostate and tell you to come back fucking in 4 months. It's a scam. Prostate's a scam.
Maybe that's a kink, though.
It's a scam. If you got cancer, you're going to know because you're going to be bleeding. They're going to cut it out. You don't need all that massage to tell you that.
To be honest, I would rather not know.
It's just one of the scams that they can make a bunch of money out of your insurance company with.
As long as I still feel pretty much okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep on rolling.
It's kind of like breast cancer. All right. Fucking, you keep going in there and they keep rubbing on your titties. And they go, this is a lump here. But if you got a man, he's rubbing on your titties anyway. He's going to say, you got a lump.
Well, no, yeah. Well, a lot of women that have breast cancer, the doctor didn't discover it. Their partner did, or they discovered it themselves.
Yeah. But they got some of them that are worried about it, and they're going to have somebody else rub on their titties. You got a lump, you're going to know.
You would think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I would rather not know. I'm just going to...
No, you want to know that you got a lump in your titty, they can cut it out.
But I can't afford to have them cut it out, so I'm just gonna
we'll get you. We get that.
I'm just gonna keep on rolling. We'll get that
money together.
Everything will be fine.
Yeah.
Everything will be fine.
We'll get you some new implants. Put you some big old titties in there.
I'll be fine.
Yeah.
What? Oh, these titties aren't good enough now?
Well, if they're gonna cut half the titties out, then we're gonna fucking put some big ass titties in there.
Yeah, I know how you do. I know how you do.
You ready to shut this down?
I reckon so.
Okay.
Everyone
Let's go
seems
get
like
something to eat.
they're
I'm getting
checking
fuzzy.
He's getting fuzzy. You need a bottle. You need a diaper change.
Yeah.
He's getting fuzzy. So yeah. All right. So we're gonna wrap it up for this evening. Thank you everybody for hanging out with us this evening. I love doing Friday nights, getting drunk with you guys.
Yeah,
it's
tomorrow
so
we're
awesome.
gonna party. We're partying tonight.
And we're gonna go out to hopefully.
Yeah.
It reminded me. It's like, oh shit, I gotta check and make sure they're not closed for a private party or something. I hope they're not.
No, they're up.
Okay. So we're gonna go out and.
They should be up. We would have heard it.
You would think, but I'll check again tomorrow. I always check before we go. And maybe I don't know if your friend wants to go. We'll see.
Yeah, probably not. I'm not gonna worry about her.
All right, we'll see. But yeah, so thank you everybody for hanging out with us this evening. Thank you for your super chats. We are gonna go to bed. Well, we're gonna go get food, and then we're gonna go to bed. So have a good weekend, you guys. And we will see you guys again on Monday for the movie review. Like I said, don't know what movie it's gonna be. We'll figure it out sometime over the weekend. So yeah. Have a good one, you guys. We will see you on Monday night. Good night.